cable-free live TV is here. And we're here just off downtown Los Angeles on a beautiful 69-degree night. Down to the field we go. Ken Rosenthal standing by with the manager of the Astros, A.J. Hinch.
Thanks, Joe. A.J., Game 7. How heavily will you lean on starting pitchers out of your bullpen tonight?
Well, maybe in its entirety. Well, I mean, at Game 7, all bets are off on how you use your guys, when you use your guys. I don't think there's a right way to go into the game thinking it's going to play out, so we'll go all hands on deck. Under what circumstances might we see Justin Verlander? I think, and obviously with the lead late, it depends on how we get there. I mean, it's a lot to ask a starting pitcher who pitched 90-plus pitches yesterday. This is Game 7. This is Justin Verlander. Who knows? AJ, thanks a lot. Good luck. Now over to Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Ken. Well, Dave Roberts, a moment ago, your entire team huddled in the dugout. What was said? What's the vibe?
I think it was led by Chase Utley right there, and it was just telling them we're prepared for this moment. We're the best team out there. Play 27 outs, doing what we've been doing all year. It was spectacular.
Your starting pitcher tonight, Yu Darvish, gave you only 5 outs last time out. What will you watch for early in this game?
I just want to see him go out these guys, attack him, expect that slider, the stuff to be good. He's got all the confidence in the world, and we know he's going to pitch well tonight.
Dave, thank you. Good luck.
Thanks, Tom.
Back to you.
Well, these two managers have been a joy to work with over the last week and a half. A real special moment before tonight's game is Don Newcomb, 91 years old, and Sandy Koufax, 81 years old, throwing to Steve Garvey and Rick Monday. And a great way to start this Game 7. Sandy, who pitched in 4 World Series with the Dodgers, and tonight it's Yu Darvish, the former Texas Ranger, traded here at the deadline, and he makes the most important start of his career and in a long time for this great franchise.
Yu Darvish, you see the numbers, and second time around he's been much better against the team when he hasn't had success. Look, for Yu Darvish, he spins the baseball as good as anybody. He's got tremendous break to his breaking balls, and the Houston lineup loves to hit the fastball, so look for that as a key. And also, I think easy outs are tension breakers. So if you can get easy outs early, it helps the whole team, it helps the manager, and it certainly helps the pitcher.
Same look as last night for the Houston Astros. Here's their lineup, brought to you by State Farm. George Springer leads it off. Then Alex Bregman bats second and third. Jose Altuve is the number 3 hitter. In the middle, Carlos Correa, Yuli Gurriel, and Brian McCann, the catcher. In the back end of the lineup, Marwin Gonzalez, Josh Reddick, Lance McCullers Jr. And how long did it take you to come up with this, John? Our keys to the game.
Yeah, a little acronym of 7. What are you looking for? You want to be sensational. You got to embrace it. If you don't, you're not going to have success. You want to be victorious, of course. Executing is always the key, and then settling your nerves. I think in a game like this, whoever can stay inside their body and not get outside their body has a better chance of being successful. You cannot be afraid to fail.
Home plate umpire tonight is Mark Wegner. At first base is Paul Nauert. At second base, the crew chief is Jerry Davis. Over at third, it's Laz Diaz, beardless. In left field, it's Bill Miller, beardless. Dan Iasonia is in right. Full beard, now beardless. 69 degrees. The weather couldn't be any better. At the end of a long season, little cool breeze on a night like this, I would imagine, does wonders for a starting pitcher as the great Dodger Stadium hosts its first Game 7.
Everybody's running on empty. Who's got the most reserve in their tank to get through one more winner take all? The worst part, you never prepared to end your season on a loss.
Springer, been red hot, takes the ball inside. You've seen the numbers. Darvish was not good in Game 3 in Houston. Makes his first home Dodgers postseason start. Springer has reached in 8 of his last 9 plate appearances. The ball and a strike. For George Springer, he has gone 3 straight with a home run. Games 4, 5, and 6. First to do it from the American League since the great Reggie Jackson, who's been here during this World Series, did it in '77. That is down the line and fair. Extra base hit for Springer to start the night. Into second with a double and a good start for the Astros.
Springer stayed off the first slider, but then the second one stayed in the middle part of the plate. That's the kind of spin that will not be good for Darvish and certainly won't keep him in the game very long. So make adjustments off of that. And certainly in a game like this, you never want the big inning to get away from you. Just kind of settle down, get your out, even if they do score 1 run in the first inning. That's the hardest part about a game 7, is to remember. Play it as close as you can as if you were in a regular season game.
Bregman now with a runner at second, nobody out. To the right side, Darvish has to get over. Tough play. Wild throw and into the dugout. Astros take the lead. In to score is Springer, and in a blink, Houston on top 1-0.
Well, 2 things, Joe. Great piece of hitting. Guaranteed he was going to get him to third by hitting it to the right side. A left-hander ranges a long way. It's a tough play for Bellinger. The pitcher has to get over there, find the ball, find the bag. Once Bellinger makes this play, a much more difficult throw and a difficult play for Darvish. The second baseman would have been much easier for Darvish. You see the sidearm throw, and it just sails, trying to hit a moving target.
It goes down as an error on Bellinger. No RBI, but the Astros couldn't care less. They strike first in game 7. 2 batters and a run. Runner at second, nobody out. Altuve takes a ball.
That's the tension of a game like this. Obviously going to play out through a lot of young players, and only 3 have been in World Series before.
Nobody on the Dodgers has played in a game 7. The Astros just went through one against the Yankees. Good breaking ball there for a strike to Altuve.
Perfect start for the Astros. When you get the visiting team, they have not scored in the first inning a lot after the Boston series. So a good start for Houston.
They had gone 13 straight. There goes Bregman. Oh, throw down not made. And a stolen base by Alex Bregman, and the Astros have come right out, been aggressive, and have a runner at third. Nobody out.
This series has been filled with so many twists and turns. Of course, game 5, you see the stolen base there, the aggressive play. Bregman so ready for the moment. This is what I'm sure he's been thinking about for a long time as a kid.
First attempted steal of the postseason, and it comes in game 7 of the World Series. Here comes a 2-1 pitch now. To the right side. Bellinger thought about it. A run scores. Bregman almost did a header, and it's 2-0 Houston here in the first. An RBI ground out by Altuve, and John, we've seen really good at bats.
Yeah, and the approach of it is everything. I know everyone talks about this game filled with homers, and we've seen the share of homers. Man, it has been a home run derby. But in the first inning, it's been executed perfectly with each guy passing on the baton. And the read by Bregman and Bellinger realizing get the bag, and if he had a chance to get to the bag sooner, could make the throw to home.
Now the bases are empty with 1 out. The crowd is out of it for the moment. The batter is Carlos Correa. 2-0 Houston here in the first. Good velocity there, strike 1.
See that pitch right there for the fastball. If he pitches away from it and only relies on breaking balls, I think that's a mistake, and that's where you can get out of yourself. The last start he did not have success. Already in the first inning, giving up 2. Hard mental hurdle to get over.
Here's the 0-1. That's strike 2. The Astros scored 8 runs during the first inning in the 4-game set, as it turned out against Boston. Had not scored in the first inning in 13 straight postseason games until tonight. 0-2 to Correa. Chop to the right side. Bellinger's been busy over there. So's Darvish. 2 out. Rest of the defense for LA. Jock Peterson, who's been a hitting hero for the Dodgers in left. Chris Taylor, same can be said for him in center, and Yasiel Puig in right. Around the infield is Justin Turner, Corey Seager, Logan Forsythe, and Cody Bellinger. The catcher is Austin Barnes. And the batter, Yuli Gurriel. And here's the matchup. And Gurriel tips his helmet out toward Yu Darvish. It was in Darvish's direction when Gurriel hit the home run against him in Game 3 that he made the gesture in the dugout. And while he's booed, he just took his helmet off and tipped it toward Darvish. With 2 out. Strike 1. In case you didn't see it, while he was getting booed. Strike 2. A couple of wide strikes here, and the count 0-2 on Gurriel.
That's the better side of the plate for both pitchers tonight if they are able to be successful, especially with Colors. He likes that side of the plate against the right-handed hitters and left-handers, especially with the curveball.
Oh. 2-2. Gurriel, 15 total bases in this World Series. It's tied for the 4th best among rookies. 2-2.
Darvish is underneath. He's underneath, and when I mean a pitcher's underneath his breaking ball, that's where the cement mixers and the side spin comes on. And that could be a combination of mechanics and nerves, but when he gets to this pitch right here, you've got to stay on top, and it's got to turn the corner. If it turns the corner, the Astros hitters will have different results, but that is not turning the corner.
Just got a piece.
Well, interesting enough, he got to 2 strikes really fast with the fastball and has yet to go back out there. He's tried to spin the breaking ball against Gurriel. You got to get him out of the way. There's no doubt. But the theme that's been throughout this series is I haven't seen enough starting pitchers go in to get outs away, meaning effectively make the offenses feel a little more uncomfortable at the plate.
Darvish doesn't get the corner this time, and it's a full count.
24 home runs. And the inability to command one side of the plate will do that. That's why you're going to have to make a couple of hitters feel uncomfortable.
Breaking balls fouled back behind the plate and out of play. Yeah, I know where you're going with the 24 home runs. A record number of home runs have been hit in this World Series. At the end of a regular season where there were a record number of home runs hit, 6,105. But here in the first inning, it's been more of the small ball variety. A leadoff double. Bregman hit the ground ball to the right side. An error. Another ground ball to the right side. 2 runs are in. And it stays 3-2 on Gurriel.
And you know what? Over the course of the season, I get it. That's how the runs percentage-wise have been scoring. We're in this era. But if you can put pressure on the other team, especially in a Game 7, your advantages go up. And this is the kind of game where you can't afford to make a bunch of mistakes.
That's Clayton Kershaw down in the bullpen loosening up. He's getting his legs loose. Here's another 3-2. And another foul ball. Well, the Astros with the home runs. 20 of their 29 runs have scored in this World Series. via the long ball. 69%, which is the 4th highest in World Series history. And this season, you see where we are with regard to the home runs. It's been a record year. With 2 out, nobody on, a 3-2 pitch. And Gurriel is making Darvish work.
Sure is. The one thing Darvish cannot do is throw a high fastball, because that's going to be right in the sweet spot. So he spun a few that he's fouled off. He threw a fastball in that he's fouled off. Go back away right here.
Half the pitches so far in this opening inning to Gurriel. 12th pitch at the at-bat, and we'll have another. Darvish came to the Texas Rangers in 2012. 16-game winner that year. He missed 2015 with Tommy John surgery. Came back stronger. Traded at the deadline for Willie Calhoun, a prospect. And here he is starting Game 7. Into right. Puig is there. It's a productive first inning for the Houston Astros on the road in Game 7. The error, a big part of it. After it started with a double by Springer, it led to 2 runs. And after a half at Dodger Stadium in Game 7, 2-0 Houston. Then Ford F-150, it doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar. And by Steal a Base, Steal a Taco only at Taco Bell. Now the starting lineup for the Dodgers, brought to you by State Farm, same as Game 6. Chris Taylor leads off, then Corey Seager and Justin Turner, who has been shut down in this World Series for the most part. Cody Bellinger, Yasiel Puig, and Jock Peterson, who has not been shut down in this World Series for the most part. At the back end of it, Logan Forsythe, Austin Barnes, and Yu Darvish pitching and batting 9th against the right-hander and 24-year-old from Tampa, Florida, Lance McCullers Jr.
So here's the challenge. You prepare to pitch a Game 7, and you prepare mentally to go and say, I'm not giving up any runs. And then you get 2 runs in the first inning, and you start thinking about, oh my gosh, I got the lead. This is mine. The biggest thing for McCullers will be establishing his fastball. He has the go-to pitch to the curveball, and he's a rhythm pitcher. And can he stay in rhythm despite this kind of lineup and the power they possess?
That said, the Dodgers in this World Series as a team hitting .208. But they have been able to string together hits at opportune times. And Taylor, the guy at the plate, the biggest hit of the night last night, an RBI double off Verlander in the 6th. This one into right center field. Back, and Springer won't get it. To the wall. And just like the top of the inning, a leadoff double.
There's the breaking ball, and this one came out of his hand up instead of coming out behind his hand, meaning the ball was flat. Much like this series, whenever you think somebody's got an advantage, the other team answers in a way that gets them right back in the game. So now the Dodgers are going to have to execute the way the Astros did and find a way to get at least one here in the bottom of the first.
Corey Seager now in the number 2 spot. Takes a ball. Seager has done his damage in the postseason here at home at Dodger Stadium. He's a .316 hitter. And 5 of his 6 RBIs this postseason have come in this park. Had the go-ahead sac fly last night as he flew the ball to the wall against Verlander in that 2-run 6th. Taylor's been all over the place. At second with nobody out, and Seager takes a strike.
So here's the one problem I see at times with all this great information that we have. It can sometimes paralyze pitching into thinking about always exposing the weakness of the hitters instead of establishing your strength and let the hitter adjust off to you. Verlander and Kershaw had done it the best so far in this postseason, establishing their fastball on command.
I guess another way of saying that is, in a way, you see guys pitching to not make a mistake as well, instead of saying, hey, I've got a good fastball. In the case of Darvish in the top of this inning,
yeah,
use it.
Yeah, exactly. And say, hey, my fastball's better than whatever you can do, even though you have, as a team, like to hit the fastball. If you come out and empty the bucket right away, you're basically saying, I'm a little desperate here, and I don't want to make a mistake, and I got to give every chance I can to get every hitter out.
Behind on the count to Seager, 2-1. That has been a hole in his swing this series, down and in, 2-2.
Yeah, the one thing he's done a better job is when he does get to 2 strikes, he's more disciplined in there. But that's a great pitch. And he was going to ask where that height of that was to the umpire, just to give him his bearings on the pitch inside.
Bregman, after the double in the top of the inning, was up there to move the guy along. Turned out better than that. Seager takes down. It's a full count.
And that's what he does a great job. He gets shorter with his stroke, a little bit of a choke up, and then recognizes that the ball's spinning.
Crowd's back. Struck him out on that pitch, down and in, 1 away. Seager does not advance the runner, and McCullers put that right where he wanted to.
Yeah, if they don't know by now, obviously the video and information, that's the pitch that McCullers is going to go to a lot. And it's a pitch he feels so comfortable in throwing that he never throws it warming up. Think about that. That, to me, of all the things in this series, still blows me away. He does not warm up throwing a curveball. And that is the most important pitch he has, as he showed in the previous series, closing out a game with 24 straight curveballs.
Now Justin Turner. Only 2 RBIs in this World Series. They came in the 6th inning of game 1 when he took Keuchel out of here. That's strike 1. McCullers told us, when you see me throw a curveball in the 1st inning in game 7, it will be the first curveball I've thrown since game 3 of the World Series. That's last Friday.
Yeah. Now he played catch late last night because he had to be prepared to pitch out of the pen, so he didn't go through his routine. That's why people are like, why is he throwing late after the game? Well, he likes to throw before he pitches.
Strike 2 on Turner.
Now what's different between his breaking ball and Darvish? Darvish has different spins, different speeds. This is one speed, and it's a down power breaking ball off of a fastball that's pretty good as well. So when you see these kind of swings and misses, the hitters are not recognizing it coming out of his hand, and it has great depth down.
Now Turner has to protect with an 0-2 count. Here's Lance McCullers Jr. last night after the game when the Dodgers won it 3-1. And after everybody was clearing out, Lance went out and got his work in on the side before his start tonight.
Yeah, we're all, as starting pitchers, creatures of habits, and you have a routine. You want to try to stick to it as close as you can. Unlike this game, everybody but the 2 starting pitchers will be out of their element for starting pitchers coming in relief.
1-2. And we'll put 2 on with 1 out here in the 1st inning. And they're on the phone to make sure in their clubhouse on the replay that this ball did indeed hit Turner, and it did on the right forearm.
That's the right approach. You're going to have to, for a great hitter, you got to make him aware of a pitch in there so you can have a pitch away.
And now the rookie Cody Bellinger, who set a National League record with his 39 home runs during the regular season. He's got 3 in the postseason, but he has set a World Series record with his 14 strikeouts.
And he'd like to atone for that error in the first inning, at least driving in run 1, maybe 3. What he's going to have to do is stay off that breaking ball. You try to tell yourself as a hitter, if the breaking ball, and I recognize spin, starts at my knee, I cannot swing. If it starts at my belt, I got a better chance to do damage to that pitch.
Strike 1.
That was the one that started at the knee, the tight break. And the reason it's so difficult is you don't want to come off the fastball. Most hitters don't want to get beat. You stay on the fastball, you adjust to the curveball or breaking ball.
A big hit batsman in that 2-run 6th inning last night. Helped the Dodgers' cause when Utley was hit by Verlander. He came around to score. Here's the 0-1. Blocked by McCann, and the veteran McCann at the end of a long year and a long postseason able to block it.
Yeah, so far each pitcher has not had anything easy happen to him. The easier the outs, the easier the innings, the more you can get into the flow of the game. Darvish didn't have that luxury, and right now McCullers is facing with the same stress with runners on, even though he's been given a 2-run lead.
Taylor a leadoff double, then a strikeout of Seager. Turner hit by a pitch. Strike 2.
Well, we've seen a lot of big swings out of Bellinger. It looks a little better than it did about 5 days ago. He got some hits and made an adjustment, but the swing's still pretty big. Trying to hit the ball in the air.
Struck him out on that pitch down and in. That's been the problem for Bellinger in this World Series, and with 2 out, the batter will be Yasiel Puig.
I'll be shocked if Bellinger gets more than 2 fastballs off of McCullers. He had a breaking ball there. That one was just a wasted one, but then he comes back with 2 beautiful breaking balls. Bottom of the zone and below the zone. Almost a defensive type of swing, trying to find a way to make contact.
Here's Puig. See that bottom line, that's this postseason, and here at Dodger Stadium, a .391 career hitter during the postseason. Had a hit last night. Takes a strike. That's high for ball 1.
I know it's only the first inning, but if the Dodgers are unable to score in the first after a leadoff double, you got to believe that feels like they gave up some more runs to the Astros, because in a game like this, you don't know how many opportunities you're going to get. That's why it's so essential to put the ball in play at certain times to advance the runners.
That just missed. 2-1. It's the 3rd game in a row that both Seager and Bellinger struck out in their first plate appearance of the game. So unable to get any action going with their bats. They've left it up to Puig. McCann out to talk, so we'll give you a look at the defense for Houston. We play here in the bottom of the first. Marwin Gonzalez in left, George Springer in center, and Josh Reddick in right. Around the infield, same look, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa on the left side, Jose Altuve, and Yuli Gurriel on the right side, with McCann behind the plate. 9 years in Atlanta Brave, 3 years with the New York Yankees. First year for A.J. Hinch and the Astros.
So as this game plays on, the Dodgers are well built for National League style, so they can handle the movement and changes more than the Astros can.
Ball 3-1, and maybe the hottest hitter in the Dodger lineup, Jock Peterson, waits on deck.
Now, in this series, Puig has expanded the zone. He's been patient till he gets a hittable count and hasn't taken advantage of a 3-1, 2-0, 2-1 count.
See if he jumps at this. That hits it. Second hit batsman in the inning, and the bases are loaded with 2 out for Peterson. Why do I say he is most likely the hottest player in the lineup for the Dodgers? The player resume sponsored by Indeed.com. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. In this World Series, 3 home runs, the first Dodger to do that since '78, and Davey Lopes, one of 3 players all time. 5 or more extra base hits and no singles, and he's hitting .357 with his 3 home runs and 5 RBIs.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. Some kind of switch happened for him in the postseason, because coming into this regular season on a big slide down. And for the starting pitchers tonight, you don't want the ringer to the phone to break. There's a chance the ringer to the bullpen could break tonight. That's how many calls are going to be down there.
Peterson, bases loaded. Strike 1 outside corner. An extra base hit in all 5 World Series games he started. Strike 2. And McCullers could strike out the side here in the first inning to go with his double and 2-hit batsman.
Yeah, that swing was huge. If you're McCullers, you'd love to see that swing. Now Peterson has done a better job again with 2 strikes staying off of that. But that was a huge swing trying to hit a 7-run home run.
Altuve. Dodgers load him up and leave him loaded. And after 1 in Game 7, behind Lance McCullers Jr., 2-0 Houston. Welcome back to the World Series, presented by YouTube TV. Cable-free live TV is here, and so is the second now of Game 7. Astros got 2 in the first. Here's McCann. Strike 1.
You wouldn't say this in any other game, but this is an important inning for Darvish if he's to get an at bat. He's due up 3rd next inning. It's a 2nd inning. So you think about that statement, and you're like, well, yeah, he's going to get an at bat. There's nothing guaranteed in Game 7. He needs to show his manager he's going to settle down, pitch effectively with his command, and start spinning those breaking balls a little bit better.
Down in that bullpen tonight for Dave Roberts, Clayton Kershaw and Alex Wood, 2 left-handed starters, to go along with his usual complement of lefties and righties with Cingrani and Watson and Maeda and Morrow and certainly Kenley Jansen. Here's a 1-2 to Brian McCann. Just inside. Meanwhile, for Houston, they have Charlie Morton in their bullpen. They have Brad Peacock back and ready to go. They have Dallas Keuchel in their bullpen, and maybe Justin Verlander. Last night's starter, who threw 93 pitches. Here's the 2-2. Off the end of the bat, not a play. There's Harris on the right. And Charlie Morton, who's been so good when he's had a chance to grab the baseball, on the left.
There'll be growing adrenaline for Verlander if he's to get in, meaning late in the game.
2-2. Well, Verlander has never won a World Series game. And he has certainly never saved a World Series game, but anything is on the table tonight.
He'll watch with anticipation. If the score remains, let's just say, a 2 or 1 run game by the 6th or 7th, he'll start preparing by the 5th, I would think.
Two to McCann. Ball. Full count. Three-two pitch. Ball inside and a leadoff walk. Very defensive pitching by Yu Darvish here to start the night.
Yeah, he tried to get McCann to chase on something that was inside and a tight break. McCann was more disciplined. And right now the command for Darvish, usually a strength, needs to find it quickly.
Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Third time over the last 4 years. There's a Game 7 in the World Series. The 4th time over the last 7 years. The Astros struck first tonight. Now ball 1 down and into Marwin Gonzalez. And that sends Austin Barnes, the catcher, out to talk to Darvish. Chevrolet is the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and the only brand to earn J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs 2 years in a row.
Somebody asked me before the game, what do you think is going to happen? Oh, this series, anything can happen. But I made a comment that might seem, I don't know, a little obvious or strange, but the pitcher that gets the most at bats tonight, I think, is going to give his team the best chance to win. That is going to be up for debate on how many at bats each pitcher may or may not get.
We're only in the second. 2-0 Houston. Darvish pitching to stay in there, and that's a strike.
Because as a manager, you just don't have the luxury, even as patient as you want to be, you don't have the luxury of letting your guy have 2 innings to figure it out. And the National League style, of course, they got to come up to the plate. So that kind of stunts your offensive strategy with him at the plate unless you choose to pinch hit.
One pitch. Ball, it's out. 2-1. On deck is Reddick, and then the pitcher Lance McCullers. Brian McCann, the leadoff hitter, was set up at 0-2, and Darvish lost it. McCullers, by the way, throws right, bats left.
And I asked Dave Roberts, would you have preferred from a strategy standpoint to not be so consumed with double switches, pinch hitting? Would it have been better to have American League style rules for this game, 7th game? He said, no, this is how we're built. We can do this better than the Astros can as far as the depth on our bench and double switches.
That is a shot into right center field. Puig will go get it. Off the wall. McCann will go first to third, and Darvish gives up his second double of the night. Marwin Gonzalez delivers here with nobody out. And we'll see if that gets action going for the Dodgers out in their pen.
Well, inevitably it will. Here's another. You see the circle of the seams? That is not good. That you cannot have a big circle. That looks like a beach ball to a hitter. And as I've said over and over, you want that to be a dot. Those seams coming together, spinning, need to be a dot. They don't see that very well. Right now, Houston's all over his secondary pitches.
Now Josh Reddick. Darvish calls Austin Barnes out to go over the signs.
Big at bat here for Reddick. Of course, the pitcher's on deck. Talking to AJ, says, hey, our guy can swing the bat a little bit. We're confident he'll be able to handle the lumber. Dodgers just switched signs again. Everybody getting aware of it. Seager let Turner know.
The guy who's going to start getting loose for LA is Brandon Morrow.
Ball.
Down and in, ball 1.
Well, for what Dave Roberts and AJ would like is if it's not a clean inning, he would rather bring in a reliever to get out of the inning. And in the perfect world, if he's going to a starter, start them in a clean inning.
Chopper to second. Forsythe makes the play, and McCann, who is very slow, just has to stay put.
That was huge because now with the pitcher up, you can wiggle your way out of this inning.
You see, among the starters, the only guy to really get deep into the ball game was Clayton Kershaw in Game 1 for Dave Roberts and the Dodgers. Otherwise, it's been a preference for the bullpen, and Morrow gets loose. McCullers stands in. And according to AJ Hinch, and by the way, according to Lance McCullers, he can hit.
He can. The wrong guy's at third base, unfortunately, with the infield in. McCann not fleet of foot, so he has to make sure it gets through. Ball. But to your point with the starting pitching, some people would argue Rich Hill had and could have been very effective as well. He just wasn't able to go deep enough because they took him out after 4 and took him out after 4 2/3.
McCullers trying to add to the lead. Good swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. And if Darvish didn't know that McCullers, whose sticker is coming off the front of his Astros helmet, can swing the bat, he knows now.
Just got to be careful. You don't swing so hard you pull something.
Here's a 1-1. Chop to the right side. The play is to first as McCann scores. An RBI for Lance McCullers Jr. He's made it 3-0 Houston. McCann came to the plate. The ball just was not hit hard enough, and Forsythe had only 1 play at first.
So 2 things. The Dodgers didn't play like a fast runner was on third and the infield would be all the way in. They played it a little midway, and McCann had a great read. Normally when the infield's in, they're on the grass, and this would not have allowed a run to score. But see how far he had to come in? That would be the issue, and why McCann read that ball well and why the Astros were able to get another run.
Correa loves it. So does McCann. Now a ball in the dirt blocked by Barnes, and this hasn't been a good start for Darvish any way you want to look at it.
So a little bit of a mistake by not bringing in the infield all the way with the pitcher up. They played it a little bit back, trusting that McCann's legs and their arms would be equal. The soft grounder worked in the favor of Houston.
They lead it 3-0 here in the second. Runner at third for the red hot George Springer. 2 out.
Ball.
2-0. McCullers, the first RBI by an American League pitcher in a World Series game since 2009 and Andy Pettitte. In at the knees, 2-1.
Astros are making Darvish come to them. They've not expanded the zone.
It started with a leadoff walk to McCann after McCann was set up at 0-2. The walk, the double, the ground out by Reddick. Didn't produce a run, but the ground out by McCullers Jr. did. Two-1 to Springer.
Oh. And the great read by McCann at third base. I just told you he didn't have a lot of speed, but the instincts of that reacting. Watch his reaction. And he comes in, and at that point, he's got the chance to score because it wasn't hit hard. Easier said than done when you're at third base trying to read the ball off the bat.
3-1 to Springer. Dangerous pitch for Darvish. Got it by him, a full count. 3-2 to Springer. Shot into left center field. Back at the wall. It's gone. Springer stays hot. And it's 5-0 Houston here in the second. He's homered in 4 straight games. And it's a 5-run Astro lead here early in Game 7. And now with 3 runs in, that's going to be it for Darvish. For the second time, he can't go 2 full innings in a start. And with 2 out and nobody on, the Dodgers are going to use Brandon Morrow.
Probably just for 1 out.
We'll talk about that move when we come back. How about the Astros on the road in Game 7? Here in the second, they lead by 5. Series with 2 starts of less than 2 innings pitched. Art Ditmar back in 1960 on that short list. An inning and 2/3 each time. Game 3, Game 7. And this is a move that will be questioned depending on how the rest of this game goes. 2 out, nobody on. And Bregman fouls the first pitch back. It's 5-0. And the pitcher's spot is due up 3rd in the bottom of this second inning. Morrow is a late inning guy, and yet here he is in the second. I get it to get outs, but this may only be a 1-out effort for Morrow.
Yeah, and it looked like he was getting him ready for a big jam with no runs scored. But the 3-run homer, the 2-run homer, to your point,
I'm good.
cleared the bases. So I guess Dave Roberts said, I've had him warmed up and hot. Might as well bring him in. I thought Darvish facing another hitter just to clear the deck so they wouldn't have to go through Morrow and a pinch hitter at the same time. So I believed that second inning was going to be important for Darvish. It didn't turn out that way, and he has been bumped again.
The strikeout ends along top of the second. McCullers with an RBI and a 2-run shot followed by George Springer. And the reaction from the bench here in LA of the Astros, and the reaction back home in Houston at Minute Maid Park. Their Astros lead in Game 7, 5-0 after an inning and a half. 1977 and 2009 respectively. Here is Logan Forsythe to deal with Lance McCullers Jr. You've got the pitcher Brandon Morrow due up 3rd in this bottom of the second, and the crowd reacts because they just showed on the video board Clayton Kershaw getting loose. Base hit. Dodgers put their leadoff man on here in the second. And the batter will be Austin Barnes.
Each bat, grind it out. That's what the Dodgers have done all year. That's what they did in a couple games that seemed improbable comebacks. 5 runs is a lot in Game 7, but the good news for the Dodgers, this is only their second at bat in the game, so a lot of time to chip away and get the crowd back in it, and of course score some runs.
And again, there are no givens in the Houston bullpen. Ball 1 down and in to Austin Barnes, and that's something that has loomed over this series since the beginning. Who would A.J. Hinch go to for the final outs? He has a lot of options, but it remains to be seen how effective they would be. Morrow in the on-deck circle. Forsythe at first and Barnes at the plate. 1-0 pitch. Ball and a strike.
Well, coming into this inning, 25 pitches out of McCullers, 16 were curveballs, and the Dodgers swung at 9, and they missed at 6. So the curveball for McCullers much more effective than the breaking balls for Darvish, to say the least.
Kike Hernandez and Andre Ethier stirring in that Dodger dugout. Oh, that's high. 2-1. McCullers was an American League All-Star. Spent 2 different stints on the DL with a bad back. Struggled down the stretch in the regular season, good in the postseason. And the count evens 2-2 on Barnes. Now Kike Hernandez is in the on-deck circle, and Morrow is still with his helmet on, but standing on the top step of the dugout.
I would think Morrow stays in the game if somehow there's a double play ball right here.
Left side. What a play by Bregman. He's done it all postseason. Took a hit away from Austin Barnes and gets the out.
Tremendous reaction. Now he knows he's only got one play. Make the throw to first. Keeps a big inning from happening potentially.
What a play by Alex Bregman. Meanwhile, Brandon Morrow in the decisive Game 7. Yes, he becomes the second pitcher to appear in all 7 games of a World Series with Darryl Knowles' 73 A's, but he's only out there for 1 out.
That's a huge weapon Houston doesn't have to worry about anymore.
And that out comes in the second with 2 out and nobody on. Ball 1 inside to Kike Hernandez.
And again, just thinking along with Dave Roberts, what could have been the situation that Springer doesn't make an out and they walk him. They're bringing in Morrow to face Bregman with the score 2-0 and traffic on the bases.
Instead, McCullers got the RBI on the ground out. Darvish gets to stay in, and George Springer takes him deep for his 4th straight game with a home run. Here's a 1-0 to Hernandez. It's inside. 2-0. Kike Hernandez with a huge Game 5 in the NLCS at Wrigley. 3 homers, 7 RBIs. The 2-0. 2-1. Ball lays off a pitch down and away. 3-1.
Good discipline. 5-0, and you still know that McCullers loves his breaking ball. And that's a pitch that if you're too aggressive, you're going to swing at. So good discipline. Now the count is in his favor again.
That's ball 4. And down to first. It's either ball 4 or hit by pitch, and if it is hit by pitch, might have caught him on the jersey. It would be the 3rd hit batsman in an inning and a 3rd. And now Brent Strom goes to the phone.
Yeah, I think he gets his jersey right there.
Either way, ball 4 hit by pitch, it's hit by pitch. And with 2 on, 1 out, here comes Chris Taylor, who doubled his first time.
This is what's great about the playoffs, and obviously what can be frustrating for a manager. Because in a regular season game, 5-0, McCullers is not sweating anything with a 1st and 2nd. But now the crowd's back up. You think about things. What if I give up a hit? What if they get back in? You've got to stay to your game plan. You've got to execute one batter at a time.
Taylor line drive for a double play. Forsythe is doubled off second, and that takes Game 7 through 2 innings. Taylor Taylor hits it hard, but right at Correa. 2 Altuve. Third inning now. Houston batting up 5. Clayton Kershaw takes over here in the third inning. It's his first relief appearance since NLDS, the save in Game 5 against the Nationals. That was last year. It's his 5th career postseason relief appearance. He threw 94 pitches as he deals inside ball 1 to Altuve when he worked as a starter in Game 5 and had a rough go. 4 2/3, 6 runs on 4 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a home run. The count 2-0.
Easy outs. There hasn't been many. It's been stress. The Astros have worked out of their mess defensively, and they have cashed in offensively in the first 2 innings.
Here's a 2-0 to Altuve. Skied into center for Taylor. One out here in the third inning in a 5-0 game. T-Mobile is now donating over $2.4 million to home runs for hurricane recovery. Fans, just keep doing your part, and T-Mobile will keep donating. Tweet or retweet hashtag HR4HR, and another $2 will be donated every single time. Here's Carlos Correa. With 1 out, Correa pops it up. Puig comes in and has it for the second out. 4 pitches, 2 outs.
Well, that's better. For Kershaw, he actually handles the bat okay. That he might be able to get an at bat depending on what the situation is, because so far in 2 innings, the Dodgers have turned their lineup over, so they're getting action. They just haven't scored any runs yet.
Here's Gurriel. Strike 1. If there was one pitch that wasn't working in Game 5 for Kershaw, it was the slider.
That's the one right there that did not catch the strike zone enough in Houston. He missed just away and down at times.
Here's the 0-2. Ball 1. Nothing wrong with the velocity of Clayton Kershaw here in the third. How much can he give the Dodgers tonight? 2-2. So now 3 in a row out of the strike zone. It's a full count. Kershaw brings it. Gurriel takes strike 3 at the knees. Kershaw restores order for the Dodgers. Bottom of the third inning. Part of the order coming up. 5-0 Houston. Plus, want to welcome you back to the World Series presented by YouTube TV. Bottom of the third inning. Dodgers have had opportunities to get onto the scoreboard, but haven't cashed in. And Corey Seager's been a part of that. Dodgers got a leadoff double in the first inning. At first and second, 1 out. Bases loaded, 2 out, didn't score. Had a leadoff hit last inning. First and second, 1 out, and lined into a double play. Bregman's defense a part of that with a nice robbing of Austin Barnes and a dive to his left. 2 quick strikes on Corey Seager.
Well, as big as the second inning was for Darvish and he wasn't able to get through it, I think that's the same for this offense right here in the third inning. They've got to find a way to dent the scoreboard in this inning.
Foul and dangerous into the seats.
The reason I say that is they've got to get closer in order for Roberts to keep that man in the game if he wants to, because each time the pitcher spot comes up with runners in scoring position, you're going to be tempted to pinch hit.
Well, here's the thing, managerial moves. You said this to Dave Roberts before the game. With all the scrutiny and everybody second guessing, first guessing everything you do, a game like this is not much fun for the managers. But when your starter can't get through 2 innings for the second time in a World Series, it puts you in a bad spot. That's hit into a good spot for Seager. And he will stop going around first and just able to get back. Thought about being aggressive, but down 5-0, can't run into an out, and did the right thing by going back to the bag.
Springer did a great job getting over to it. Watch where this ball's hit, and then watch where Springer covers a lot of territory, spins, turns, gets it in, and then slipping, just put on the brakes. Seager barely gets back. Right there, turning around, trying to get back. Well, the Dodgers need Turner to get going right here.
Hit by a pitch on a 1-2 delivery in the first. McCullers has hit 3. And now he's hit 4. He hits Turner for the second time in the game. The crowd reacts for obvious reasons, but McCullers up 5-0 in Game 7 of the World Series isn't trying to hit anybody.
No, he's losing his fastball arm side a couple times, trying to go in on purpose, of course, but this right here, he just loses it, and that one hits him right underneath the shoulder blade, and that is not fun at all.
Now the first 2 are on for the Dodgers here in the 3rd inning, and it wouldn't take much for this crowd to feel a lot better about Game 7. With Cody Bellinger about to face McCullers as Strom gets a talking to from his pitching coach.
And Bellinger needs a better at bat in this regard. This is going to be breaking ball city. You've got to tell yourself to stay off of the big swing and the ball down. You see the 4th hit batter. That's the most in a World Series game, because this is a huge inning offensively for your team, and already the bullpen for Houston.
Brad Peacock is getting loose. 2 on, nobody out. It's just the 3rd inning. A lot of that.
Yeah, it's just it's being young, talented. You've got to understand the moment. You've got to make him throw a strike. He's in between again. He needs a breaking ball up. Of course, McCullers doesn't want that.
This time he lays off. When Bellinger found success in Houston, he went the opposite way and was able to do that in Game 4 and the 7th and 9th with a pair of doubles. Trying to pull everything and hit it out of the park. That bounces in. 2-1.
The hardest part about baseball is, as a hitter, I'm sure you want to do your part and hit a 3-run homer. But you've got to chip away. I mean, they don't have to tie the game up in the 3rd inning, but everyone seems to want to swing for the fences in situations that don't call for it. Keep the line moving.
Two and not much of a swing by Bellinger. He is out of whack.
Totally in between and non-committed to an approach. You would feel better of a hit as a hitter, even if you're not successful, that you're not in between. 8 straight curveballs now to Bellinger.
Two. 16th time he struck out. He adds to his World Series record. And here comes A.J. Hinch, and that is going to be it for Lance McCullers. Yasiel Puig will be the hitter with 2 on, 1 out. It's the second visit of the inning, and McCullers is gone. Brad Peacock is coming in. Opportunity for the Dodgers here in the third. Starring Seth MacFarlane tomorrow after Gotham on Fox. Here's Brad Peacock. He's been busy this postseason, and he's come up big for A.J. Hinch, one of the few guys he trusts coming out of his bullpen.
He has an interesting move there, because I thought the Astros had a huge advantage the longer that McCullers could go. Well, that isn't the case. He's out now. Remember I said the uncharacteristic things that can happen to a player when he gets outside of his body. Well, he lost the fastball command. He hit 4 batters. AJ's taking that in, going to a guy he trusts. McCullers obviously not happy.
It's on Puig now with 2 on, 1 out. 5-0 game. A strike from Peacock. Puig has hit 3 home runs this postseason. 2 in this World Series. 28 during the regular year. Waits for a 1-1. High fly ball to center. Back is Springer in front of the track. Tagging and going to third is Seager, and the throw is cut off. First and third, 2 out.
Puig got a good pitch to hit, and unfortunately it resulted in an out. And the Dodgers are in another situation where 3 innings in a row they had an opportunity, a great opportunity to score. They didn't put the ball in play, they didn't advance the runners, and they need a 2-out hit from Jock Peterson.
Peterson grounded out with the bases loaded his first time up, and here comes Brent Strom. Turned 69 during this postseason. He has been active going out to the mound in the Yankees series and certainly in this World Series. And it's the first Game 7 where both starters did not last through 3 innings. 2 1/3 for McCullers, 1 2/3 for Darvish. You see that stuff from Yasiel Puig slamming the bat down. On his way down to first as he flied to rather deep center field. Leaves it up to Jock Peterson. Opportunities already. The Dodgers have hit into a double play and left 4. Trail 5-0. Peterson. Strike 1. First 3 innings, the Dodgers have a leadoff hit. They've also had a hit batsman in each inning. Twice it's been Turner on the receiving end. And after putting the first 2 on here in the 3rd inning, a strikeout of Bellinger, a pitching change, and Puig fly to center.
I think that was a nervous throw to first. There's no reason to really be throwing to first.
It's in.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Either that or he was told to throw to first. Turner not really a base stealer, and 2 outs.
Dodgers are 0 for 6 at the plate with runners in scoring position. A 1-1. Strike 2. Brad Peacock trying to finish off the third inning. Got the save in game 3 on Friday night in Houston. Going 3 2/3 now into the ball game here, and time called at the plate. And another visit from McCann. Earlier tonight, Nathan Garcia, a member of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro Los Angeles Challengers Clubhouse, delivered the game ball with Dodgers legend Manny Mota and a Boys and Girls Clubs alumni Hall of Famer J.B. Smoove. To learn more about Boys and Girls Clubs, go to bgca.org. Manny Mota, Dodgers outfielder, pinch hitting specialist for 13 years and a .304 career hitter. Right now the count's 1-2 on Peterson. Ball.
Peacock's fastball looks lively again. Both these staffs have gone to the well. Each guy that comes in trying to dig deep into the reserve tank.
Here comes a 2-2 pitch. First and third, 2 out, and a strikeout ends the inning as McCann finishes the putout. The Dodgers now have hit into a double play and stranded 6. Opportunities missed for LA. Big outs for the Astros, who lead 5-0 after 3. Home runs now mean even more in the World Series with T-Mobile. Strike 1 into McCann. T-Mobile donating $20,000 for every 1 hit, benefiting hurricane recovery efforts. And now we need the fans to do their part, as you can tweet or retweet hashtag HR4HR, and T-Mobile will donate another $2 every single time. 2 quick strikes on Brian McCann. Kershaw had a perfect third. He's retired 4 straight.
Let's see, the problem with the Dodgers not scoring last inning, Kershaw's up third in the next inning. So that again is going to cause Roberts to have to make a decision. When you're down 5-0, you're not given the luxury of just keeping a guy out there, even if he's got his A game going. So the Dodgers offense have squandered too many opportunities in the first 3 innings.
2 on 1 out in the first, didn't score. 2 on 1 out in the second, didn't score. 2 on nobody out in the third, didn't score. The Astros have made the most of their chances. Time called by Gonzalez. And George Springer's been right in the heart of it both times. A leadoff double in the first inning, scored the first run, hit a 2-out 2-run home run to Chase Darvish. From the hole, Seager, no chance. And now Marwin Gonzalez is 2 for 2 tonight, and on with 1 out here in the 4th.
That's a great effort by Seager. Once he gets by Turner, no chance really, but gives it his best. And you're seeing, I know this is the one game that's going to determine the World Series, but you're seeing what the Astros do best throughout the year offensively.
Reddick, strike 1.
And what I mean by that is they were the hardest team to strike out. Yes, Kershaw had him striking out in game 1, and he was awesome. He had 11 of them. But when they've needed to put the ball in play and move runners, they have done it for the most part. The Dodgers have not.
That skips in to Reddick, a ball and a strike with the pitcher, Brad Peacock, on deck. An infield hit by Gonzalez and a 1-1 delivery. Strike 2.
So if I told you the over-under on pitchers at bats tonight is going to be 1, possibly, would you have believed it?
Maybe at the rate that this postseason's gone. Darvish never hit. Lance McCullers Jr., the Astros starter, hit and had an RBI groundout. That gets away, and down to second is Gonzalez. It's a wild pitch by Kershaw.
Spike the slider. Let's see, not much of a chance for Barnes, the way that hit the dirt and went the other way.
Here's a 2-2 to Reddick. The other way, tough pickup, good play, Seager, 2 out. And now Brad Peacock will be the hitter. You said something in passing. Here's a moment ago in the dugout. Brad Peacock gets a bat from Bregman. But the fact that Clayton Kershaw could swing the bat a little bit, depending on where things are in the bottom of this 4th inning, you could see Kershaw somehow getting an at bat and lasting through the pitch in the 5th.
In the best case scenario, that would be pretty good for Dave Roberts, because 6 more opportunities to score runs is a lot for this offense
against an out of whack and at times ineffective bullpen for Houston.
They just got to get closer, though. That's where the advantage can swing back to the Dodgers.
Astros lead 5-0, 2 out. Peacock takes a strike. First at bat for Peacock in this postseason. Runner at second, 2 out. And he gets to face Kershaw. The 0-1. Well, put the bat on the ball, but flies one to Taylor in center. Kershaw through 2 scoreless. Bottom of the 4th inning. Bottom 3 in the lineup for the Dodgers. Coming up, all Houston so far, leading 5-0. Team at MLBShop.com. Bottom of the 4th inning. It's 5-0 Houston in Game 7. And Logan Forsythe takes a fastball for strike 1. Forsythe, then Barnes, then Kershaw. Forsythe singled his first time, then was doubled off second. Here's a little pop-up. Gurriel can't get there. Strike 2.
Yeah, you got to feel a little frustration for the Dodgers offense, because this game should be much tighter, but still got to find a way to keep putting pressure and making it tougher for AJ to navigate through this game, and how he's going to do it the rest of the night with pitchers.
Oh, 2 on Forsythe. That will get out of play right side. The Dodgers right now are hitting .212 in this series. And they're 10 for 49 in the series with runners in scoring position. They've hit .204, 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Yeah, and it's been kind of the same kind of approach once they've had runners on. There's been no deviation to trying to hit that homer.
Oh, 2 down for ball 1. Here's a 1-2. Chopper left side. Bregman. What a series defensively, one of his easier plays, and now 1 out here in the 4th inning as the Dodgers, for the first time tonight in Game 7, fail to put their leadoff hitter on. Welcome inside our broadcast booth, everybody. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th, I'm Joe Buck. That's the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. And, well, the pitching's been better for the Houston Astros here in Game 7, and Yu Darvish not good in Game 3 and not good tonight.
Yeah, the first 2 guys weren't clean enough for the managers to feel like you could stay in long enough with them. And I think in this type of game, the execution has been almost flawless for the Astros offense, where the Dodgers have created the same kind of tension and mess, just haven't delivered.
Well, 1 outside now to Austin Barnes, who grounded out to 3rd. Ross Stripling is up in the bullpen. There's nobody on deck for the Dodgers as Kershaw's spot follows Barnes. And that spot will come up with 2 out, nobody on. And here comes Kershaw. Ethier had a bat in case Barnes reached. But Dave Roberts will save him for later and get to keep Kershaw in the ballgame.
Well, Joe, my daughter's had a lucky birthday, 2 Game 7s in a row on her birthday. Last year and this year. Rachel. So it's Game 7s. You can pretty much know they're going to happen from here on out.
Kind of a Smoltz thing since you showed. Last year with the Cubs and the Indians. We got a Game 7 in the ALCS with the Yankees and the Astros. So happy birthday.
Yeah.
To Rachel, and with 2 out, nobody on, a pitch outside to Kershaw from Peacock.
And we saw a similar game last year where the Indians kind of worked their way back into it.
Yeah.
And pulled off almost an epic comeback. And the Dodgers have the same capability.
The Indians got that 3-run home run from Rajay Davis in the 8th inning off Aroldis Chapman that tied the ball game. And then Chapman turned in a great 9th inning after the heartbreak of the 8th and set up the Cubs for the opportunity to win it in the 10th, and they did. 1-1.
And the reason I say that is because their go-to guy for the Astros has been missing, right? They don't have a lockdown closer right now per se. So there's a multiple ways that the Astros could finish this game, and it will probably be done by guys who are not accustomed to that or comfortable with that, yet alone in a Game 7.
Kershaw checks it. 2-2. Kershaw will not give up an at bat. No. Meaning he is a grinder, and if you send him up there to the plate, he's going to try to work his way on base any way he can. The home run hitter Chris Taylor on deck. 24 home runs this season, including the postseason. 2-2. Peacock finished off the 3rd. Came in with 2 on, 1 out, and has a 1-2-3 4th. The hottest hitter on the planet will lead it off in the 5th. Springer 2 for 2 tonight with a double, a homer. Astros up 5. Back after this from your local Fox station. Tonight, it's what's going on this series, and here tonight with George Springer. He's the first player with home runs in 4 straight games in a single World Series. He's got 5 home runs, ties for the most in a single World Series, and the most from the leadoff spot. And his 29 total bases, the most for any player in any postseason series all time, let alone World Series.
That's pretty impressive. And guys who have hit homers in 3 straight World Series road games all time, of course, Springer, Bonds. My teammate, former teammate, Brian Klesko and Hank Bauer.
A great list to be a part of for a guy who went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts in game 1.
Looked lost, and it took a walk that got him going. He hasn't looked back since.
Locked in. He's doubled. He's homered tonight. The 0-2 from Kershaw. Spoiled it. Tom Verducci, I know you have more on George.
Well, George grew up in New Britain, Connecticut. There was a Double-A team there for the Minnesota Twins. He always hung out at the ballpark. And then one day, one of the minor league players asked him if he wanted to play catch. You see the strikeout there. And George was in the stands and had a catch with this minor league player. And he told me that game of catch changed his life. He said he went from a kid who liked baseball to a kid who forged the dream of being a major league player. And that minor league player who he played catch with, that was Torrey Hunter, 19-year major league veteran. And George Springer told me each night during a major league game he will look into the stands and find a young boy and realize that's why he plays baseball, to put faces on the next generation, smiles on those faces.
Well, a ball gets out of the bullpen and comes all the way back toward the infield. Thank you for that, Tom. And George Springer was an all-star this year, kind enough to join us for an interview from the outfield while he was playing in that game in Miami. Had a monster season, 34 home runs, had 9 leadoff home runs, all in the first half. Drove in 85. I mean, he's the guy that makes this lineup go, and it was the top run-producing lineup in the major leagues this season. Strike one now on Bregman.
Yeah, you mentioned that monster first half, but he does so much for this club defensively in center. Energy, gets guys laughing.
He had a playlist going in the clubhouse before this game that he said, well, the music I grew up on. I mean, it was 70s and early to mid 80s hits. There's a foul out of play by Bregman, and the count stays 0-2. It's like wheelhouse stuff for you and me. And then you get to walk out of the clubhouse feeling old when he said, this is the music my parents listened to. Alex Wood now getting loose. 0-2 with 1 out. Bregman strikes out as he's fooled. Well, here's a home run for Springer. StatCast powered by Amazon Web Services. This is the end of the night for Yu Darvish.
438 feet. And there was no doubt when it left his bat. It was just a matter of how far, and that loosened him up even more.
Strike one on Altuve. Altuve with an RBI ground out in the first. Astros got 2 in the first, 3 in the second. Second and third runs of that second inning on that home run by Springer. And here's a pop-up right side, foul ball. Bellinger. Kershaw's doing all he can. He's allowed only 1 base runner. Bottom of the 5th, halfway through game 7. Top of the order coming up for the Dodgers, who trail by 5. 69 degrees at the start of the evening here for game 7. And the first game 7 in Dodger Stadium history has been a dud for the home team so far. All the fun for the Astros and the crowd trying to get behind Chris Taylor in the top of the lineup. As this fly ball goes into left, 1 pitch as Gonzalez goes to it, 1 out.
Shortstop.
That'll bring in Corey Seager. Came on the air talking about how evenly matched this series was. The 2 best teams were left. The Astros from the American League, the Dodgers from the NL. And that 5 of the first 6 games of this World Series had been decided by 2 runs or less. And the exception was game 4, and that game was 1-1 going into the 9th. So this one has kind of been the outlier, although With the number of twists and turns that A.J. Hinch and Dave Roberts have seen to this point, just kind of waiting around for something to happen.
Yeah, both teams have done what they needed to do, and I call it dent the other team's bulletproof scenario. The Dodgers bullpen was so good coming in. Well, what did the Astros do? They basically got in there, dented them, proved they were human, and really beat them up there for a couple games. And then the Dodgers were able to kind of get to Verlander, something that no one else had been able to do. He hadn't lost on the year. But I think this series, when you look back, whatever happens, first and foremost, AJ trusts the man that's on the mound right now, so much so that he let him finish a game uncharacteristically. And you're going to look back on the lack of contact that's going to come back to haunt the Dodgers if they don't find a way to rally and win this game.
1-2 inside. 2-2.
And I'm not talking about lack of contact just at the plate with nobody on. I'm talking about with runners on and not being able to advance them and do the things you have to do.
Do what Houston did in the first 2 innings. Leading 5-0 here in the 5th. That's out of play. Still 2-2. This graphic is where we've been in this series after 5 innings. We're not through 5 innings yet. But this is how tight this World Series has been and why it's the talk of the sports world here over the last week plus.
It's been fantastic. It really has. I don't think anyone could have anticipated 5-0 after 2.
2-2.
But I don't think anyone's going to anticipate that the Dodgers will be shut down all game either. And that's currently what the Astros have been able to do.
Peacock relieved in the 3rd. Lance McCullers Jr. went 2 1/3. No runs on 3 hits. Also chipped in an RBI ground out. 2-2. Another foul. Seager with a hit tonight. Struck out back in the 1st after the leadoff double by Chris Taylor. Hit leading off the 3rd, then Turner hit by a pitch, 2 on, nobody out, and the Dodgers failed to score. He checked his swing on a pitch down, a full count.
Good changeup. Mack thought he went. McCann emphatically pointing third base umpire.
A 1-out walk. It'll bring in Justin Turner, and we've told the story about A.J. Hinch going to his young third baseman Alex Bregman and comparing what Bregman was about to do to the third baseman on the other side. And he said, boy, in this series, this World Series, he's really got his hands full with a guy like Justin Turner. To this point, Alex Bregman, offensively, defensively, has been the better third baseman.
Yeah, he has, and he's had a lot of good at-bats. I mean, really even some of his outs. A.J. Hinch liked him in this series because of the left-handed starters for the Dodgers. It just set up well for Bregman.
On the outside corner for a strike. You saw that graphic. Hit by a pitch in the first. Hit by a pitch in the third, and the one in the third inning by McCullers looked like it hurt him under the shoulder blade, left side of his body. They love him here in LA. First year of a 4-year deal. A guy who was non-tendered by the Mets came to the Dodgers. Tim Wallach, his bench coach here with LA, when he recommended the Dodgers sign him, and boy, are they glad they did.
AJ's got double barrel action in the bullpen. He's going to try and get out in front of any kind of issues that might arise and not take any chances. Kavinsky and Liriano.
Turner is a big reason why the Dodgers are here during the regular season. Hit .322, 21 home runs. In the division series against the Diamondbacks, hit .462 with 5 RBIs. In the NLCS, hit .333 with 7 RBIs. But hitting .130 with 2 RBIs, it both came in Game 1 in the 6th inning on a home run off Keuchel.
And they've pitched him really tough. It's not like he's missing a lot of hittable pitches. The Astros have made it a game plan to say we cannot let this guy get hot. And other than that 2-run homer, he has not.
Waits for the 1-2. 2-2. Dodgers have stranded 6 already. The Astros have left only 1. Playing in the 5th, 5-0 Houston here in Game 7. And boy, a lot of indecision here, and another visit from McCann to Peacock. So they talk, and we'll give you a quick word from T-Mobile.
For every home run during the World Series, T-Mobile will donate $20,000 to hurricane recovery.
The rhythm of a game when there are a lot of moving parts, and you can understand why. The meetings, changing of signs, pressure.
2-2 now. Turner hits it down the line, but foul. Turner had the walk-off home run against the Cubs in Game 2 of the NLCS. On the 29th anniversary of the Kirk Gibson home run in Game 1 of the World Series off Dennis Eckersley. Left side. Bregman knocks it away from Correa. And it's 1st and 2nd with 1 out here in the 5th.
Well, with Seager running at first, Correa may have had a chance had this not been deflected. His only chance would have been to backhand this and go to second. Just the tip of the glove is all it took for Bregman, who's gotten to everything. And we are going to have another pitching change.
So Francisco Liriano, who finally got into the World Series last night, is the lefty coming in. A.J. Hinch will roll the dice here in the 5th with Cody Bellinger coming up. And it's Francisco Liriano, who pitched last night. That's his only work of this World Series. And to me, Cody Bellinger has proven that he can't hit the right-handed stuff coming down and in. I don't know if you're not doing him a favor by bringing in a lefty.
Yeah, sliders away. This is the only batter that Liriano will face.
Strike one.
I thought getting him in yesterday was a big part of what AJ was going to be able to do if he utilized him tonight, and he has.
Bellinger has struck out twice tonight, both times against McCullers. Ball just inside, and both times on pitches down and in from the right-hander. Now gets a different look. We saw the average better against lefties in the regular season and postseason combined. The Dodgers need something out of their cleanup hitter. The 1-1.
Walks out.
Track that one better. The down and in spot probably won't be an issue now with the left-handers you mentioned, as the right-handers exploited that right there. That was the curveball. It was an easy game plan. He wasn't adjusting, so you don't have to adjust. Now he just has a different look and stay on the pitch. He is trying to get outfield grass somewhere. The ball must touch the outfield grass.
The 2-1 to the right side. Altuve fires to second, and that's it. So Bellinger is 0 for 3. Hits into the force out at second, and the inning will belong to Yasiel Puig, and we'll see if it's against Liriano. Now Morton has joined Davinsky. And that's it for Liriano. 1/3 of an inning, all zeros as he gets the force out at second. His night is finished. And Jung was leading the cheers here early. Dennis Haysbert is in the crowd here at Dodger Stadium. Andy Samberg from Fox's Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Caitlin Olsen from the Mick. Kate Upton, fiance for Justin Verlander, and Larry King is a regular behind home plate. Mary Hart. Sandy Koufax part of the first pitch ceremony here, and now the most important pitch coming from Chris Davinsky. First and third, 2 out, facing Yasiel Puig, who took him deep in Houston in Game 5.
Surprised how patient, non-competitive at bat first pitch. Like, you know, you sometimes can scare the pitcher into throwing a ball, but he's taken those pitches the whole time.
There's the 0-1. Runner stealing second on a foul back, and now Puig is in the hole, 0-2. Here's that Game 5 home run off Davinsky that made it a 1-run game in the 9th inning. The Dodgers would go on to tie it on a 2-out RBI hit by Chris Taylor and lost it in the 10th.
And that was a changeup. Now, does the memory of Davinsky throw a fastball here, or does he feel like he can make a better changeup pitch with 2 strikes against Puig?
First and third, the 0-2. Fastball at 96. The only team to overcome a 5-run deficit in a World Series when facing elimination was 15 years ago, 30 miles down the I-5. 2002 Game 6, the Angels trailed the Giants 5-0. Going into the bottom of the 7th and won 6-5, and then won Game 7. A game that John Lackey started 4-1 to win their only championship.
That's hard to do, to come back that late, but we've seen it. We've seen a lot of late runs. That's usually not the case against most bullpens in baseball today.
Fourth pitcher of the night for the Astros, Chris Davinsky. The 0-2. Seager walked in this inning. Justin Turner had a base hit go off the glove of Bregman. And the pitching change. Bellinger bounced into a force out. He's at first. Seager at third, 2 out. And a 1-2 pitch coming to Yasiel Puig. Fouled back, and Bellinger was on the move again.
Puig upset at himself. That's another chance of that fastball. Bellinger moving on the pitch. Watch Puig's reaction after that pitch right there.
Time was called. Bellinger was going to take off again. That's no small piece to the puzzle. If there's a pitch out of the strike zone, it looks like they're willing to give second base. Nobody covered the last time Bellinger took off. Only in the 5th. 5-run game, and Davinsky calls out McCann. McCann left and comes back. Why don't we give you a quick word from Wendy's?
Wendy's now has amazing chicken tenders, and you can get them for a limited time with fries and a drink for just $5.
First and third, 2 out, and a 1-2 count on Yasiel Puig. Runner goes on a soft liner caught by Gurriel. And now the Dodgers have stranded 8 and get into a double play. We're through 5 innings in Game 7. Astros having fun and celebrating. Dodgers frustrated. Has been better tonight for the Houston Astros. They got the start from Lance McCullers, then Peacock, then Liriano, Davinsky. And the Dodgers have been able to put men on but can't bring anybody home. They're 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. And Clayton Kershaw has been good. He's gone 3 innings, allowed 1 hit, struck out 4. And he's back for more. Carlos Correa first up. 6th inning, 5-0. Astros leading here in Game 7.
And he had a long wait, and he had some long waits in Houston and wasn't able to come out and be as sharp that he wanted. Usually a long wait means your team has scored. In this case, they didn't.
Strike 2. From all of us here at Dodger Stadium to Don Hartack back at Stats Inc. It's his 18th and probably final season writing game notes for us. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Down 2-2, and believe me, I can't tell you how smart he's made us all seem over those 18 years. Putting together a packet for every game, worked so hard, and we thank him. I thank him for all he's done for us and for me. 2-2 pitch. Grounded left side, base hit, and Correa's on for the first time tonight. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, the Astros had 6 straight losing seasons, including 3 straight of at least 106 losses from 2011 to 2013. This season, this World Series, and maybe this night will be the reward for all their pain. Consider George Springer, #1 pick in 2011, 11th pick overall. Carlos Correa, #1 overall pick in 2012, and the Astros signed him for far below the assigned slot value.
Good play by Kershaw off the mound down to second. Correa. Keep going, Kenny, because it is such a huge part of how the Astros got to this Game 7 of this World Series.
Right. So when the Astros signed Correa, they gave him far less than the assigned slot value. That enabled them to grab Lance McCullers with their savings at number 41. And then you advance in 2013, Mark Appel. Well, that didn't work out so well, but it led to the trade for Ken Giles. And then 2015, Alex Bregman. First rounder, second pick overall. Joe, the draft isn't the entire story with the Astros, but it's a big part of the story.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And the homegrown players are the guys who have starred this postseason for Houston.
And can I tell you what they did even better after drafting and not missing is the ability to change their roster for the better. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of ways that they were going about in their quest to get here and were failing. Too many strikeouts. Relievers weren't as important. Now they add a veteran in McCann, a veteran in Beltran. They now have the influence with the young player, with the veteran, and they've taken the strikeouts out of their lineup. Huge adjustment by the front office to get them to this point.
McCann with a good rip, but now in the hole 0-2. 24 of the 27 Astros home runs in this postseason have been hit by homegrown players, and that's what you're talking about. The strikeout percentage and where they ranked across Major League Baseball. Look at that jump to first this year.
Now that hasn't happened since 1918, based on being that far last and in the bottom 5 to go to first. That's an impressive jump.
They also have a manager in A.J. Hinch, who's in his 3rd year, got the Astros to the postseason in 2015. Smart guy. He can talk analytics with you all night, but he also will go with his gut and he'll go with his eyes. He's a good mix, and he's a steady hand guiding this team. He's done a really good job this postseason getting the Astros this far, and he has his team leading Game 7. Here's a ground ball right side. Tough play. Wow, what a play by Forsythe. Over to third is Correa as Forsythe went a mile and made a long throw to get McCann 2 out.
You're not kidding. This is not a typical shift out. Look how far he is, and look how far he's got to go. And when he throws, he's got to throw off balance, but he's got a shortstop throw instead of a second baseman's throw as far as distance. And right on the money to Bellinger.
Tremendous play. And now an intentional walk to Marwin Gonzalez. And Reddick wasn't ready to come to the plate. They're going to bring Gaddis up.
And on the flip side, Joe, this team has been assembled for the Dodgers in a different way. A lot of depth, interchangeable parts. Their bullpen has been their strength. Their starter in numbers. Starters have been fantastic. So that's the reason why Dave Roberts and his staff has been able to win the most games in the National League. And yes, they have the highest payroll in baseball. That definitely helps.
Well, what happened here is an intentional pass to Marwin Gonzalez. 2 guys are on deck. Gaddis was the first to grab a bat and a batting helmet, and he will be the one to hit for Reddick with first and third 2 out. Then the pitcher's spot would follow, and that would be Cameron Maben if it gets there. Gaddis gets a chance to face the left-hander Kershaw. And they're going to walk Gaddis. Back-to-back intentional passes and bring up Maben.
That's confidence in your man on the mound that he's going to throw strikes, and the matchup he likes a little better, which forces AJ to go to another pitcher.
He brings Maben to the plate, and in so doing ends the night for Davinsky, who goes 1/3 of an inning with all zeros, as he got that soft liner off the bat of Puig with runners at the corners to end the 5th. So here's Maben. Bases loaded, 2 out. Kershaw trying to keep it a 5-run game. Strike 1. Maben 1 for 2 in this World Series with a stolen base in that Game 2 win. here at Dodger Stadium. Out in front of it, little pop-up on the infield for Turner. And Clayton Kershaw, who did not hand out any intentional walks all year, hands out 2 in the 6th. The Astros strand the bases loaded. Lead by 5. Bottom of the 6th rolls in Game 7, and so does Charlie Morton. Presented by YouTube TV. Bottom of the 6th inning. Jock Peterson will lead it off. Kershaw has done his best. He's kept it where it was when he entered back in the 3rd. Here's Charlie Morton. And a little flare base hit into center, where Cameron Maybin, who just pinch hit and was intentionally walked, or rather flied out to end the top of this 6th, is there to field it on a couple of hops. And Peterson is on, and yet again, as Springer goes to right, and the pitcher will bat in the number 8 spot. The Dodgers put their leadoff man on. That has not been the problem.
Yeah, that hasn't. But the alarm clock goes off for some reason in the 6th inning here at home, because the Dodgers have put a 2 spot in the 6th inning every game here in the World Series at home. They're hoping to at least do that here to crawl back in it.
Strike 1 from Morton. Charlie Morton was terrific in his start back in Game 4. Went 6 1/3. 1 run on 3 hits, struck out 7, walked nobody. And now on in relief here in Game 7. Astros up 5. 97 but low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Gone from sinking it to power. Fastball, 4-seam. Good breaking ball.
That's strike 2. Meanwhile, you saw Austin Barnes on deck. Then it would be Kershaw's spot. And with that, Kenley Jansen is getting loose here in the 6th inning, with the Astros about to bring all those right-handed bats up in the 7th, the top of the order.
Yeah, you almost feel like that's what Dave Roberts has to do. And first and foremost, his offense is going to have to give him a reason to get excited.
Forsythe checked it.
You know, it's interesting. Relief appearances made by starters this postseason. There's not a small example. There's actually a large example. And the relievers slash hybrids, you're going to call them starters that come in relievers, have a better ERA than the traditional relievers in their role this postseason.
Morton almost hit him with that pitch inside, a full count. Three-two. Hey, McCann's going to go out to the mound.
This will change in the future, I promise. It will. But I was going to say, you know, when you prepare to pitch a Game 7, I was fortunate enough to do 3 of them. You do realize as a starting pitcher it'll be the longest game you ever pitch, because mentally there's so much to deal with. Well, that's not the case today, but it will be one of the longest games played because of the amount of pieces that have to come in, the meetings and all that's at stake. Game 7s are always a crazy, kind of interesting game set and mindset.
3-2. He walked him. 2 on with nobody out for the Dodgers in the 6th.
Pretty good pitch, but just maybe on the outside part of the strike zone. A good take, 3-2, and here the Dodgers go again. But the difference this time is they have the different part of their lineup coming up. Bellinger has been up with most of the damage that could have been done with runners on and has not gotten a hit. Taylor, a much different hitter in this situation.
Bellinger, their cleanup hitter, has left 6 on.
Barnes, if they can get to the top of the lineup where Taylor is, you got to like the Dodgers feeling that they'll have a run or 2 on the board.
A single and a walk, and now Austin Barnes, the number 8 hitter. And catcher takes a strike from Charlie Morton. First year of a 2-year deal for Morton. Longtime Pirate, last year 1 year with Philadelphia, tore his hamstring. Had a career year, had much better stuff in 2017 with Houston. Deal 1. That is foul, right side, strike 2. And McCann out to talk again. The Dodgers are 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Last team to start a World Series Game 7, 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. The 79 Pirates, who actually won, beating the Orioles 4-1.
Must have hit some homers.
Pretty good lineup. Here's the 0-2. Pretty good pitch, called ball 1.
Yeah, Morton is 98 and down in the bottom tier of the strike zone. But you see McCann actually wanted it up, so the way that he caught that with the glove going down presented it lower than it maybe is.
Now a 1-2 to Barnes. Off the end of the bat, pop up on the infield. Infield fly rule is in effect, 1 out. So now 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position to the Dodgers, and they ask for something out of the longest tenured Dodger, Andre Ethier, who joined this organization in 05 and missed the majority of the season with a bad back.
Professional hitter, been around, and he would love to extend it on, as I mentioned, to turn it to the top of the lineup. If you can get it to the top of the lineup less than 2 outs, Dodgers and Dave Roberts are going to like their chances getting really close in this game.
Well, how good was Clayton Kershaw? Went 4 innings, did not allow a run. Along the way, 2 hits, 2 intentional walks, and 4 strikeouts. Ethier hitting for him. Ball 1.
And this kind of game, even talking to the managers, you realize that everybody's got a platform to second guess, like you said. Everybody will be taking their own so-called knowledge and spinning it in a different way. If they would have done this, or if this team would have done that.
Ethier late with that swing at 98 from Charlie Morton. Strike 1.
I can already hear what's going to come down the pipe if the Dodgers don't win. Why didn't you just start Kershaw? 4 innings. He went 4 innings for you. It's a different circumstance. He came in obviously down 5-0 as opposed to coming out of the gate.
Ethier to the right side, base hit. Here comes Peterson. He will score. 5-1.
Well, it's the 6th. They got 1. And they've usually will bank 2. And a ground ball that finds the hole. The crowd, something to cheer about.
Charlie Morton threw 76 pitches in his Game 4 start. This is only the second time in his career he's pitching on 3 days rest. The other time in 2008 in his rookie year with Atlanta. So it's been a while, and he's out there in Game 7. 4-run game now, and a good pitch in for a strike to Chris Taylor.
All Dave Roberts could ask. Get to the top of the lineup. Runner still on base. Less than 2 outs. Now down 4.
Nobody up for Houston in their bullpen at the moment. The 0-1. Good pitch from Morton again. Strike 2.
An interesting strategy to walk 2 guys with the bases loaded to force the hand of AJ and obviously make a pitching change along with a pinch hitter.
Morton in a jam. The 0-2. This Taylor's been a tough out. He was last night for Verlander and delivered that key hit in the 6th. The RBI double down the right field line. He sent Utley to third, and Utley scored on a sac fly by Seager. As you see, Verlander now is out in the bullpen for Houston. And those were the big runs for the Dodgers last night. Struck him out. 2 out in the inning, and the batter will be Seager.
I'm going to tell you something right now. This is not an easy pitch to throw when you haven't got the feel for your changeup. He just threw 2 great changeups to Taylor after he chased a fastball up. McCann went out, talked to him, and a committed pitch got a result.
Correa liked it. McCann out to talk yet again with 2 on, 2 out. And Corey Seager, the reigning National League Rookie of the Year. He's hit 1 home run this postseason. It came in this series. 22 on the regular season. Shattered back. The ball to the shortstop Correa, and got it out of his glove and to first for the out. And Morton had to deal with that. Headed his way, and Charlie Morton gives up just the 1 run. Dangerous broken bat. Correa makes the play after a double clutch. It's a 4-run game. After 6 in Game 7, Astros lead it 5-1 back after this. He's in this World Series. He's in there to face the top of the lineup for the Astros. That means Springer. Last night, Jansen went 2 innings for the save, his 5th of this postseason. 2nd of the World Series, threw 19 pitches through his 2 innings, struck out 3. Did not face George Springer last night, or any of the guys that he will face to start this 7th. 4-run game now. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A little bit similar to last year, although Clayton Kershaw started the game, the elimination game. The Dodgers, Jansen came in 9 up, 9 out, but the Cubs were victorious.
Cubs beat the Dodgers in last year's NLCS and won the World Series. The Dodgers rolled through 2 teams, including the Cubs. After they beat Arizona. But they have run into a team that won 101 games during the season. The Astros. That's fouled back. Springer is 2 for 3 tonight with a double, a run scored, a 2-run home run, and that 2-run home run chased Yu Darvish and really set in motion what we've seen, the domino effect out of the bullpen. Morrow, big weapon, had to be used in the second. Clayton Kershaw had to be used in the middle innings. Now Jansen is in the game in the 7th. 1-2 to Springer. In the air to left center field. On the move. Taylor's got it. One away. Covered a lot of ground in left center.
Like he's been doing it his whole career, but he hasn't. He gets one in the gap, and you got to check who's going over, and Taylor covers the ground. Peterson peels out of the way. Great catch.
Now Bregman. It was a good at bat by Bregman that helped both runs in the first inning. Strike one. After the double by Springer, Bregman was up there to move him over to third. Grounded to the first baseman Bellinger, who threw wide to Darvish covering. Run scored, put Bregman on. He stole a base, scored on a ground out by Altuve. That's out of play. Strike two.
Bregman's best part of the season, actually, when he got going the most, is when Correa went down with an injury. Rumors, would he be a piece in a trade to go get a pitcher? Well, he stepped in. They didn't miss much of a beat, and he's been outstanding at third ever since.
Brilliant 0-2 pitch. He's been a tough out too. Last night had a hit, but did not drive in a run. He had driven in one run in each of the first 5 games. Second guy to do that in his first 5 World Series starts. Another 0-2 from Jansen. Foul.
I know we say this a lot. There's no guarantees in sports that you're just going to get back to the spot that you hope to year in and year out, but both these teams are in a good position to return back to the playoffs and make another run with the core players that they have and the pitching staffs that are in place.
Dodgers have won 5 straight divisional titles.
Ball.
And the Astros, you get the feel, are just scratching the surface of what they can do. They're good, they're young, they're well managed on the field and in the front office. 1-2 from Jansen. 2-2.
Saw the shot there of Alex Cora. He will be moving on after this is all said and done.
Off to the Red Sox. 3-year deal to manage. 2-2. Struck him out. 2 out in the 7th. Batter will be Altuve. Junior Home Run Derby allows kids 14 and under to compete for the National Home Run Derby Championship during the 2018 All-Star Week in Washington, D.C. Sign up today to host a free competition in your local community at jrhrd.com.
Cora managed in the WBC. And speaking of the WBC, the championship game was here in L.A. Bregman, Gregerson were on the USA team. They won. Correa, Beltran, and P.K. Hernandez were also here. Full circle for Bregman and Gregerson, maybe.
Altuve, 1 ball, 1 strike. His team, Puerto Rico. For a guy like Carlos Beltran, who we've shown you, he got into the game last night, struck out to end game 6. Wonder what the future holds for him. He was on a one-year deal with Houston. What a career he's had. Altuve waits for a 1-1 from Jansen. Ball just inside, ball 2. The numbers for the Houston Astros during this postseason and the wins and the losses have a lot to do with what the 3-4 combination does in the lineup for the Astros. Altuve and Correa. And their 10 wins combined to hit .412 with 11 home runs, 25 RBIs. 7 losses, 135. With 1 home run and 2 RBIs, and tonight in game 7 Altuve has an RBI ground out, Correa a single, and that's all. Altuve takes ball 4, a 2-out walk. It'll bring in Carlos Correa in the bottom of the 7th inning. After the stretch, it'll be Turner, Bellinger, and Puig. It looks like Charlie Morton will head back out there. Here are the numbers just to show it to you this way. The average, the home runs, the RBIs, the runs scored. The combined totals for these two during the postseason in wins compared to losses can make this team go.
They sure do, and for a while I think that's going to be the case.
The Astros have not done much running at all in this World Series. 1 steal, 1 for 1. That belongs to Maben way back in game 2. There goes Altuve. Throw down by Barnes, not close. Stolen base. And so Altuve, who not only led the major leagues with his .346 average, but led the ball club with his 32 steals, is into second easily. Power, speed, great defense. He does it all.
He really does, and does it all having a really good time at it as well.
Stolen base, kind of a lost art. 30 plus the last 6 years for Altuve, and that is foul. Correa now trying to drive his buddy Altuve in to get the 5-run lead back. Now Tony Watson, the left-hander, gets loose. One pitch, popped up. Out behind second base, Seager ends the top of the 7th. Part of the order coming up for the Dodgers. Game 7 getting late. 5-1 Houston. That made it 5-0 in the second. He ties the World Series record with his 5 home runs. The Astros have used 5 pitchers. Kershaw was great. The Dodgers have left 10 on base and are 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position. That's the story of this game. Opportunity for the Dodgers, but they cannot cash in to this point for the most part. A drought will be ended here tonight. We go back to 2004, and obviously the Red Sox ending their drought. Giants ending theirs in 2010. One of these two will be next. The Astros have never won. They're in their 56th year of franchise history, and the Dodgers haven't won since 1988. The White Sox were on that list, and when they won in 2005, it was at the Astros' expense. When Houston was in the National League, and Justin Turner will walk in 3, 4, and 5 hitters against Charlie Morton, with the Astros up by 4.
One thing I have to correct, Cora did not manage. He helped put together the team for Team Puerto Rico.
Well, what's going to happen over the last 3 innings of this game? Charlie Morton will have a lot to say about that. The bullpen for the Astros is quiet. Turner. Good pitch in on the hands from Morton. Strike 1.
You know, regardless of what happens to Morton in this inning and for this game, what the Astros have just found out about Charlie Morton in his postseason last 2 starts will serve them well and him for next year.
Yeah, he's got talent and he's got guts. Ball. As A.J. Hinch told us before the game, you just don't know until you see these guys in this type of a series, in this type of an environment, and Morton doesn't seem overwhelmed by the size of his chance as he misses down and away 2-1. 3 of the first 4 reached against Morton last inning, but then a strikeout and a groundout ended the threat.
So 3 starters for the Astros in this game. Dallas Keuchel warming up in the bullpen as we speak. A couple of relievers came out, got out of the jam. Keuchel will go through his normal routine, I would imagine, as if he was going to start the 8th inning.
He just got up. And he was matched up against Clayton Kershaw in Game 5. Kershaw was good tonight. 4 shutout innings with only 2 hits. Verlander is down there if they need him. Here's a 2-2. Little pop up. Gurriel to his right. 1 out.
Brian McCann has had the pleasure of catching a lot of great pitchers. And he told me the stuff that Morton had in Houston was the best stuff he's ever caught.
Wow.
On that particular game, he said, you just can't believe how good it was and how locked in he was.
And that, by the way, is a guy that used to catch you.
Yeah.
6 1/3, 1-run, 3 hits in that Game 4 start. Good tight breaking ball for a strike to Cody Bellinger, who's had a rough night.
He has. This game would be a little different, maybe with contact in certain situations.
A lot of that. Nothing in 2.
But you know, this game, even in the greatness of Aaron Judge, as he was in the first half, monster. Then the league exposed him a little bit. He went through a rough stretch and then he adjusted again. Same thing for Bellinger. He'll have to adjust next year to the pitchers who have seen some things in this series.
Right. Got him looking. 3rd strikeout of the night for Bellinger.
And it's a game of adjustments. A door opens and then it's up to that particular player, pitcher or hitter, to close that door. And then you wait for another door to open. And what the Astros are so good at is spinning a baseball, throwing off speed, about 50-50 based on their fastball to off speed ratio. And they have exposed Bellinger in this series to a lot of strikeouts.
It's an overall postseason record, not just a World Series record for Bellinger. Such a good guy, such a good kid, had a great year, just 22 years old. But he has now struck out 29 times this postseason.
And he'll be fine, because as the league faces him, they don't have a bunch of guys that are going to be able to do the same thing. So he's going to have his numbers, and he's going to learn how to adjust and take from this postseason. Well, I think anybody who comes into this game, there's rare times where you see a young kid just dominate from the beginning, maybe Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, and carry that all the way through without going through some peaks and valleys and struggles.
Grew up around the game. His dad Clay played for the Yankees. Here's a grounder to short. Correa takes care of Puig, and that sends us through 7 in Game 7. The Astros will bat 8th inning now. 5-1 Houston. Fans, we now have a record-breaking 104 home runs this postseason and over 600,000 tweets from you, which means T-Mobile will be donating over $2.4 million to Team Rubicon. Keep doing your part, though. Tweet or retweet hashtag HR4HR. T-Mobile will donate another $2 every time. Alex Wood takes over. Jansen a scoreless 7th. 1 strikeout, 1 walk. First up is Gurriel. And the count goes to 2-0. All the scoring against the starter, Yu Darvish. In an inning and 2/3, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 3 hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts, and a home run. That's on a line to center, and Taylor moves over to grab it. 1 away. The batter will be Brian McCann against Alex Wood, and we'll give you a quick word from Duracell.
For the final time this series, Duracell.
How'd they know it's the final time?
Unbelievable. A quick word from Duracell, and now the at bat for Brian McCann, who's done such a good job catching this staff. A lot of moving parts. There's a strike from Alex Wood, who in Game 4 went 5 2/3, allowed 1 run on 1 hit. The home run by George Springer, and that was it. And then he was out of the ballgame.
Well, it's been an interesting year for Alex Wood. Of course, he started off on fire, all-star, undefeated, ultimately running his record to 11-0, and then some time on the DL. And then we mentioned that time in between rhythm, 1 start in 32 days, going back to that start you mentioned.
McCann tonight 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Got him over the outside corner, and Tom Verducci. The city of Houston and that area of Texas has been through so much. They've latched onto these Astros here down the stretch in 2017, and boy, the Astros have brought them a lot of joy.
Absolutely, and those hurricane relief efforts, recovery efforts on the minds of all these Astros players. When you walk into their clubhouse at Minute Maid Park, on the bulletin board where the daily lineup is posted, there's a picture of a car submerged underneath an overpass. A lot of players have hurricane damage photos in their lockers, including Carlos Correa, who has them at eye level. He told me I put it there and I look at it every day. If I have a bad day, 0 for 4, and want to throw my glove in my locker, I just think of what all these people have gone through. He said if we can give them 3 or 4 hours a night of joy, a little bit of happiness, we're doing our part. Right now, we're trying to give them a lifetime of joy.
Yeah, there's no doubt, and as you pointed out the other night, they've lost only 3 times at home at Minute Maid Park since Hurricane Harvey made landfall toward the end of August. What an incredible home field advantage it's been throughout this postseason for the Astros, and one of the noisiest stadiums, forget baseball stadiums, noisiest stadiums I've ever stepped into.
Yeah, it's been an eerily similar year for both of these teams. How hot of a start, a little bit of a lull, and then finishing up strong and really running through the playoffs to this point. And a loud Minute Maid Park helped that team.
That's outside. They came back needing to win back-to-back games against the Yankees to get to the World Series. They did that. And now here they are, outs away from their first World Championship in franchise history. Still 2-2 on Marwin Gonzalez. And even though their team is gone and out here in Los Angeles, the fans are packed in at Minute Maid Park watching their Astros play here in Game 7 as they were doing last night in Game 6. Marwin Gonzalez has had a nice night. A double, a single, been intentionally walked. The count stays 2-2.
You know, even though he hasn't had a super successful average for the World Series, his one at bat against Kenley Jansen changed this series.
An 0-2 pitch that he rode out of the ballpark into left center field to tie Game 2. The Astros won it in 11. Scoreless inning put up by Alex Wood. And earlier to the Springer home run. Way back in the second. Celebrating. Joy in Houston. Bottom of the 8th. Dodgers will bat down by 4. Morton has been very good again tonight for A.J. Hinch. Dallas Keuchel getting loose in case something starts for the Dodgers here in the 8th. They trail by 4. Jock Peterson 1 for 3 tonight. Strike 1 for Morton.
Fastball command's been really good. Late movement, 96, 97. Great changeups to right-handed hitters, and of course, pretty good curveballs.
He's retired 5 straight. Out in front of it is Peterson, and now backed up on the count 0-2. The formula has changed nightly for A.J. Hinch. He didn't know how it would play out, obviously, in this Game 7, but that whole all hands on deck. And those hands have done a nice job. McCullers, Peacock, Liriano, Davinsky, and now Morton. 0-2. Struck him out. A foul tip, and it was hung on to by McCann. Strikeout number 3. And 1 out here in the 8th.
Another breaking ball. Gets on top of it. Late break in. Swing up. Foul tip McCann.
Base is empty for Logan Forsythe. With 1 out, Morton deals, and that's a strike.
You think about the Dodgers and how this has kind of played out. The Game 1, the traditional Dodgers style. 3 pitchers, they win. Game 2, they had to go to 9. They lost. 5 in Game 3, they lost. Only 4 in their win, 7 in their loss. And in their last win on Game 6, 5 was the number.
From Hill to Morrow to Watson to Maeda to Jansen. Watson got the win tonight. Darvish couldn't go 2, and the dominoes started to fall early. The 1-1 upstairs, 2-1. On deck, Barnes. And then the pitcher's spot. 2-1. Right side, it will get out of play.
This crowd is trying so hard. They're doing their part and trying to get this mode turned around. Momentum somehow, some way turned in their favor.
This has consistently been the loudest this stadium's been in a long time. They love this team. A fun team to watch. #1 in baseball this season with 104 wins and the best home record in the game. 2-2.
And like Dave Roberts said, it was always somebody different, it seemed like. Guys knew their roles, filled in nicely, and somebody always came up big. And they're looking for that tonight with 5 outs left.
Dodgers have stranded 10 men on base tonight. Here's a fly ball into right. Springer over to grab it. 2 down. Early missed opportunities to jump back into this game and put pressure on this Houston bullpen. That'll be talked about after this game for the Dodgers as well, if they fail to rally. Now Austin Barnes with 2 out, nobody on.
No doubt. I mean, they had golden opportunities. When you're down 5-0 in the World Series Game 7, that will deflate a lot of people and certainly put your offense at a disadvantage in how you strategically go about scoring runs. Yes. But they came right back, and in every inning there for a while they had a chance to get right back in it and just couldn't get that hit.
You know, you wonder where this game is headed pitching wise for A.J. Hinch, and if history tells you anything, well, if Morton, who's throwing great, gets Barnes here, A.J. Hinch has proven he will ride the hot hand and not just automatically go to somebody else in the bullpen. He did that with McCullers in the ALCS. He did that with Peacock in Game 3 of this World Series.
He sure did, and I'm telling you, it's the reason they're in this position.
Here's one into right center field. Maben to his left. How about Charlie Morton? Outstanding through 3 innings, and he might get another. We go to the 9th inning of Game 7. Astros lead at 5. Dodgers after Yu Darvish has been really good. Morrow, Kershaw, Jansen, Alex Wood. And this answers the question: is Charlie Morton will stay in the ballgame and hit? And that should tell you, as I look up at the monitor that's pointed down my way with a camera in the bullpen for Houston, Verlander is lightly tossing in the bullpen for Houston, but it's Morton right now. He's up there to watch. Strikes out to start this 9th inning.
Yeah, don't waste any energy. Stay focused on pitching, just in case.
I mean, the job that A.J. Hinch has done,
Number 3, Cameron Maben,
showing his ability to maneuver, cajole, manipulate, and overworked and seemingly outgunned bullpen in this World Series has been really impressive.
It has. And I can tell you, going into this series, the bullpen matchups way favored the Dodgers. I mean, it wasn't close. That was their strength. That was where they were flexing their muscles. And unfortunately for the Dodgers, had it stayed in Game 2 the way that they had hoped, it would be a much different series. But because the Astros got to their bullpen and because the starters haven't gone deep enough for the Dodgers, those middle 3 games, that bullpen was not the same. They were exhausted.
Wood gets it by the bat of Maben. His second at bat. He's 0 for 1. He came on and pinch hit, fouled out to third with the bases loaded in the 6th. And now, after being up on the count 2-0, it's 2-2. Got him over the outside corner. Delayed call. And that caught everybody at the plate by surprise. Barnes and Maben.
Right field number 4, Joe Springer.
And with 2 out, nobody on, we'll give you a quick word from T-Mobile.
Tweet #HR for HR and T-Mobile will donate $2 to hurricane recovery.
So with 2 out, nobody on, back to the top, and here's Springer.
All right.
If the Houston Astros win this World Series and they're 3 defensive outs away from that, you are looking at the likely MVP of the 2017 World Series.
Absolutely agree. And you might not have been able to say that 4 or 5 days ago.
Strike 2. And Wood could strike out the side here in the 9th. The Dodgers, if it stays like this in the bottom of the inning, will need 3 base runners to have a chance. That's into center. And we are headed to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Dodgers. Back to work, Charlie Morton. He'll try to end it. 5-1 Houston. Bottom of the 9th in game 17. The first half dominated. Best start in team history. 6 All-Stars. Carlos Correa was lost with torn ligament in his left thumb, and he was out for a big chunk of time. As John told you, Alex Bregman stepped in really well in his absence. They get Verlander. They defeat Boston 3-1. They defeat the Yankees in game 7. And they're 3 outs away from their first World Championship as they play in their 56th year of franchise history. It's been a build toward 2017, and here they are on the brink of winning it all.
Pretty incredible. The 4-run lead will help for sure here in the 9th as Utley leads off.
Pinch hitter for Wood. Strike 1 from Morton. Utley was hit by a pitch last night in a key spot by Verlander. A trade for Verlander. The trade for McCann. Signing Beltran. Going out of what they had been doing. Building from within. Adding pieces. None bigger than Verlander. Told this team that the front office believed this was the year. And here they are leading by 4 with 3 outs to get.
Hard to believe that 2 seconds or seconds before midnight that deal gets done.
The very end of August. Here's the 0-2. Utley strikes out on a pitch down and in. 1 out in the 9th. 4 strikeouts from Morton.
Morton, if he finishes the next 2 outs, it will not be a save. It'll actually be a win for Morton. Discretion of the score to give the win to somebody who doesn't qualify.
It would be a big effort here tonight, because I will guarantee you when A.J. Hinch brought Charlie Morton in, the odds were not good that Morton would finish this game for Houston. And here he is, 2 outs away. Doing what McCullers did in the ALCS, doing what Brad Peacock did in game 3 of this World Series. Look at these numbers.
Been fantastic without a lot of experience in this position either.
Chris Taylor at the plate. Fouled off to the right. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And I'm not going to say this is going to come full circle for Charlie Morton, but he has been through the biggest grind to get to the point of feeling like a big leaguer. The injuries, almost 9 years to get to a big league career where he feels like, I can do something. And then this year, what he had for the Astros, amazing.
That's outside. 14-7 during the regular season for a guy who got that 2-year deal, and a pitcher who 9 times has been on the disabled list, and he's fought through all that. The Astros identified him as somebody who could help, and boy, were they right. 1 out, nobody on. 2-1 pitch. 2-2. 96 from Morton. He started. McCullers. Peacock picking up big outs again here tonight. Liriano got an out. Davinsky. Since then, it's Charlie Morton. His 2-2 pitch. Broken bat. Altuve comes to get it. 2 out. And the Astros are 1 out away here in Game 7. The batter will be Corey Seager. And for the Dodgers, they will look at the heart of their lineup. A lot of outs. The Astros have been able to contain Justin Turner and expose the rookie Cody Bellinger, who struck out 17 times in this World Series. That's a record.
What's interesting to me, Brian McCann, a perennial all-star in the National League, went over to the Yankees, was going to be part of the Yankees' success, traded over here because of the Sanchez success.
Here's a ground ball right side, could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history. A 3-hour, 37-minute gem for Houston. You saw Jim Crane, their owner, who took control in 2011, the move to the American League in 2013, and building to this moment, world champions 2017. And this well-run organization gets to celebrate here at Dodger Stadium.
Unbelievable. Another drought ends. Two great teams fighting Game 7, and the Astros been through so much. Did not have the success the Dodgers have had as far as winning leading into this.
Charlie Morton, who had only one relief appearance in his big league career, September 21st of 2008 with Atlanta, goes the final 4 innings. He allows a run on 2 hits, struck out 4, walked 1, and did not allow a base runner over the last 3 innings here in Game 7. He gets the win, his second of the postseason, and Darvish, for the second time in this World Series, couldn't get through 2 innings.
I tell you what, I have been doing this a long time, but this was one of the greatest postseasons when you think about all it took to get this done for the Astros. Historic Game 2, Game 5. Maybe not the prettiest played Game 7, but the Astros don't care.
All the drafting, all the scouting, the pieces that were added via trade or free agency for this stretch drive, and the Sports Illustrated cover in 2014, and the article by Ben Reeder, they nailed it. And Justin Verlander, the biggest piece that was added in season for Houston. And the most likely MVP, George Springer, with a double and a home run in his first 2 at bats tonight. Homers in 4 straight games, 5 for the World Series. Keuchel and Verlander sprinting out of that bullpen to celebrate on the center of the diamond.
Truly a great World Series.
The vet, Brian McCann, in his 13th year in the big leagues, finally got to play in a World Series, and he and these Astros are world champs. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Charlie, this was only your second. Like being on the mound in the 9th inning, knowing you were closing out the Astros' first World Series title.
Well, the guys came out and put runs on the board, and we held down a really tough lineup, and you know, I don't know, it hasn't really sunk in, but I don't know, I felt pretty good. I thought early on I was just kind of amped up. I was overthrown a little bit, but settled in a little bit and start making some pitches.
Charlie, you've been through so much. Surgeries, injuries, disappointments. What does this moment mean to you?
I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful to the Astros organization for giving me a chance and believing in me, and you know, for my teammates, for the city of Houston. You know, it's just unbelievable.
Charlie, thanks very much. Congratulations. Now over to Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Ken. Jose Altuve, I want you to repeat what you just told me because a lot of people in Houston want to hear it.
Hey, I cut the last out from the Houston Astros, becoming world champion. It was a ground ball to me. I threw the first, and I think this is the happiest moment in my life in baseball.
I got to ask you, because you've been here a long time, you endured 3 years losing more than 100 games. When did you believe a night like this would be possible for the Astros?
I mean, I always believe that we can make it, and I thank God for the opportunity to be here in a Game 7, and we won the Game 7. So I thank God for the opportunity to become World Series champion. You know, I think we deserve it because every single guy did something to help us to get over here.
You guys went 18-3 down the stretch at home at Minute Maid Park. You went 3-0 in elimination games. What would you like to tell your fans back in Houston watching right now?
That we did this for them. You know, I know it's been a lot of going on in Houston since last year, but this is because of them. They are the biggest reason why we're here playing every day.
Congratulations, you're a world champion.
Thank you, thank you.
Back to Ken Rosenthal.
Thank you, Tom. Lance, started this game, shutout innings.
Yeah.
What was it like
came
for you?
across. Man, I came into this game. I knew yesterday I didn't have much. You know, I knew I didn't have much to give other than just trying to gut it out as long as I could. You know, the team knew. You know that I know there was a short leash, but everyone was ready to go in the bullpen today. And you saw all of our best guys come out of there, and you know, I gutted it out as long as I could. This is crazy.
What do you think this means to the city of Houston?
I don't think you can put it into words what it means to the people of Houston. Man, this is, we wore that patch and we wore it proudly. And the people of Houston were never far from our minds. We know they're at Minute Maid watching. You know, they were going crazy for us. I mean, we saw the flat, you know, on TV that taking to Minute Maid, and they deserve this as much as we do, man. And we're gonna party hard.
How about Peacock and Charlie Morton?
Yeah, man, like I said, everyone was ready to go. You know, Brad came in, you know, kept those runs off the board that I left on the bases. You know, pitched well. Liriano came in, got a huge out with Bellinger. Debo came in, did a great job with Puig, and then Morton took the rest of the way. And hats off to the Dodgers, man. They're an unbelievable team. They're well coached. They got a bunch of guys in that team who know how to win, who just love these type of moments. But we came out on top.
Lance, congratulations.
Yeah,
now back to Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Ken. Dallas Keuchel, we saw you up in the bullpen late in the game. Charlie Morton made sure you stayed there. Tell me what you were thinking as the outs started to click away.
Well, I knew we were in good hands when Charlie took over, and when Peacock took over for Lance, I knew it was also in good hands. So when he kept getting outs, I knew the chances of me coming in the game were very slim, but I had to keep my mind on the game. I was a little nervous. I had very minimal bullpen appearances, especially in the Game 7 World Series. But, man, what can you say about this team from the first game on? And I'm speechless right now. So I got to give credit personally to Brent Strom. He resurrected my career, and I wouldn't be here without him. I told him that in the first place. From the first pitch of the 2014 season until this last pitch here, I said, man, I owe you everything. And I want to personally thank him on air, and he means the world to me.
Well, let me ask you about the pitching. You faced 3 elimination games in the postseason, won them all, allowed only 2 runs. What does it say about this team?
Gutsy pitching and gutsy team. We knew we had our backs against the wall the whole time. This is an outstanding Dodger team, and it was the 2 best teams going at it. So it was a heavyweight bout, and it didn't disappoint.
Dallas, congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you, Joe.
All right, thank you. Thanks, guys, from down on the field. We are just beginning here. From the owner, Jim Crane, as I said, took over in 2011, to Jeff Luhnow, the GM, who took over December of 2011, from managers Brad Mills to Bo Porter to A.J. Hinch. A big build to 2017 and a 5-1 win in Game 7. Coming up after the break, we'll have the awarding of the Commissioner's Trophy along with the announcement of the Willie Mays World Series Most Valuable Player Award presented by Chevrolet. The Astros celebrate their first World Championship in franchise history. From the Colt 45s in 1962 to the Houston Astros of the American League in 2017. A 5-1 win tonight, a 4-3 win in the series, and a championship to celebrate. Back after this. Well, with a record-breaking 104 home runs hit this postseason and over 650,000 tweets, together we have raised over $2.5 million for Team Rubicon and hurricane recovery efforts. On behalf of T-Mobile, we all thank you again. And now a shot from Minute Maid Park, where they celebrate the Astros World Championship that they clinch here in Los Angeles. There are 17,000 plus people in attendance in that stadium. What a year for the Houston Astros and for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Astros win it. Let's go down to the field and Kevin Burkhardt.
Joe Buck, thank you very much here at Dodger Stadium, where the Houston Astros, you can say this for the first time ever, the Houston Astros are your World Series champions. We've got Commissioner Rob Manfred here and members of the Astros with me. Jim Crane, the owner of the Astros, Reed Ryan, president of business operations, Jeff Luhnow, the general manager, A.J. Hinch, the manager. And without further ado, let's present the Commissioner's Trophy. Rob Manfred, you're up.
On behalf of all of us at Major League Baseball, I want to congratulate the Houston Astros on their first ever World Series championship. Over the course of this great 7-game series, we really did see the Houston strong. So without further ado, I'd like to present Jim Crane with the first ever Commissioner's Trophy for the Astros.
Jim, I'm sure this feels amazing. With everything back in Houston this community has gone through with the hurricane, and obviously they rallied behind this team. What does it mean for you, for this team, for this community?
Well, this one's for Houston back there at home in the region. Got hit hard, and everybody was behind us. The guys picked up on it. And, you know, we played a great Dodgers team today. Congratulations to Mark and his great squad. But these guys played hard. I want to thank the commissioner and his staff for the great job they do in the World Series, and we're just so happy for everybody. I'll let these guys talk about the team because Jeff built the team and AJ managed the heck out of it. So congratulations, guys.
Well, congratulations to you, Jim, as well. Let's bring in Jeff. Jeff, come on in. First of all, tell us who's on your shoulder here.
My son, Henry. He's excited to be here.
What's up, Henry? Jeff, for you took over as general manager a few years ago. You went through some rough times, obviously, a team that lost 100 games a couple of times. And now you're all the way at the top. So what's the most gratifying thing about this entire process?
Everybody that was involved, we had some rough years, but we stuck to our plan. I want to thank ownership for supporting us the whole way, giving us the freedom to go out and get this group of players. You know, we did it. We knew we had a plan that could get us here, and we got it. World Championship.
You sure did. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's bring in the manager. AJ, come on over. What is this emotion running through your body right about now?
You know what, Houston? We're a championship city. This team loves playing in Houston, and we're going to love bringing this World Series trophy back to Houston.
AJ, did you feel that responsibility after the storm? Obviously, the community rallied around you, but did you feel the responsibility of carrying the community with you?
You know, we take great pride in being there for Houston at that time. Obviously, they responded by falling in love with this team. Our September was incredible. October was even better. In November, we're pretty good.
I have to ask you how this team is so resilient. I mean, you could talk about the whole year, you could talk about the playoffs, but just in this series alone, I mean, especially games 2 and 5, you kept coming back off the mat. How?
You know, this is one of the best World Series of all time, and it's because of these players. These players back here never stop, they never quit, and they're always going to be called champions.
How did you keep everyone so calm coming into a Game 7?
Oh, we weren't calm. We weren't calm at all. We wanted to win from pitch 1. George Springer leads off with a double, and off we went.
Before I let you go, tell me how this sounds. You could say it for the first time with me. The Houston Astros are World Series champions.
Feels pretty good to me.
Congratulations, AJ.
Thank you.
Joe Buck, let's go back upstairs to you for now.
5-1 is the final here in Game 7. Morton so good out of the bullpen. Darvish started and could not get through 2. The Astros jumped all over him. The top run-producing offense in baseball. And it has been a long wait for Houston and for these Astros. They get it done here tonight. Some veterans who have waited a long time. Carlos Beltran with tears in his eyes. Finally winning a world championship. Evan Gattis and Beltran coming together, celebrating this victory here tonight and this victory in the World Series. Justin Verlander gets his first World Series ring heading his way. After getting there twice with the Detroit Tigers, it took a trade to the Houston Astros to make it happen. And that keystone combination of Carlos Correa and Jose Altuve, just vital to the success for the Astros embrace. No two people more important or more responsible for this World Series win than those two guys. Let's go back down to the field and Kevin Burkhardt.
Okay, Joe, thanks very much. Down here, where it's time now for the Willie Mays Most Valuable Player presentation. Again, the Commissioner, Rob Manfred, to join me. Commissioner, it's all yours.
For the first time tonight, we're going to present the Willie Mays World Series Most Valuable Player Award presented by Chevrolet. It's only fitting that this first award goes to a center fielder, George Springer of the Houston Astros, who hit 5 home runs in this great 7-game series. George, congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
George, let's turn you to the camera here. Wait, hold that up for the fans. There you go.
This is for my teammates. This is for my teammates up there. I wouldn't be here without any of you guys. I love every single one of you, from the coaching staff to the training staff, even Marwin Gonzalez. I love y'all.
George, you've talked about through the postseason with our guys about moments, right? About not necessarily the at-bats, but the moments. And I'm curious what this moment feels like right about now.
This is a dream come true. It's an honor. But you know what? It's about the Houston Astros tonight and our city and our fans. We're coming home a champion, Houston.
How much did this city, did those people, the community inspire you during this postseason run?
It was everything. You know, that patch on our chest truly does mean a lot to us, and I'm so happy for all of our fans who have endured a lot, and we're coming home champions.
So check this out. 5 home runs in a World Series. It's only 2 other players who have ever done that, Chase Utley and Reggie Jackson. What do you think about that company?
I'll take it.
How about the game tonight? Early start, obviously you got it going right away. Just tell me about this team's mindset coming in against Darvish and trying to get an early lead.
Attack him early, get something to hit, and don't miss. You know, I mean, he's good, and if he's on, he's trouble. But, you know, our guys were able to get to him today.
So, George, before we let you go, we have another special presentation. Brian Sweeney is here, U.S. Vice President of Chevrolet, and maybe one more thing for you, Brian.
George, congratulations to you and the entire team on just an awesome series. So on behalf of Chevrolet, our 2,900 dealers across the United States, we're pleased to present you with a Chevy Silverado Centennial Special Edition. Great job, man. Here's the keys to your new Silverado.
Thank you very much.
So now, before we let you go and you enjoy that beautiful truck right there, how are you going to celebrate this, George?
For a long time. For a long time with all my teammates and the city, the fans. This will be a good time for us.
George Springer, the most valuable player of the World Series. Congratulations, George. There you go. Let's go over to Ken Rosenthal right now. Kenny.
Thanks, Kevin. Carlos, Houston Astros, what makes this team so special?
You know, since we met in spring training, our main goal was to win a championship. And, you know, every single day in the clubhouse, we gather up as brothers. And, you know, you can see the results right now. Great baseball. We were able to accomplish the dream of.
Houston was on your mind. I know Puerto Rico is on your mind. What are your thoughts right now as you think of your native land and your adopted home?
Yeah, it means a lot to me, you know, to do it for the city of Houston, be able to bring joy, happiness to their lives in this moment right now. It's really special. The same for my people in Puerto Rico. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for the support. I can't even describe the feeling right now.
You've dreamed of this your whole life, this feeling. Is it everything you thought it would be?
It's everything and more, man. It's everything and more. It's one of the biggest steps of my life, one of the biggest accomplishments of my life. And right now I'm about to take another big step in my life. Daniela Rodriguez, you make me the happiest man in the world. Will you marry me? Will you marry me?
Oh my God!
Let me put it on you. Yes? Yes! It goes like this.
Oh, what a great moment here at Dodger Stadium. Wow. We've had a lot of firsts here tonight. The Astros win their first World Championship in franchise history. And we've got a marriage proposal. She said yes, and congratulations to the Correas. The Correas to be. And whether it's Marwin Gonzalez or the MVP George Springer, this has been some team effort. Jose Altuve, manager AJ Hinch. There's Alex Bregman. He stepped to the center of the stage and performed so well in the spotlight. Such a well-made team put together. And the vet, Carlos Beltran. What a way in his one-year deal returning to the Astros for this season to end. Congratulations to the Houston Astros and to George Springer, this year's World Series MVP.
Competition like straight to me. Yeah, it's his story, it's history. Homie, this is my story.